go into the details. Mining. Ask yourself, what percentage of mining proceeds comes to us as a people? How do we benefit from the mining as a people? A lot of it are by multinationals who will take it away, or by galamsey people that you may not even be really able to account for. So when they talk about the GDP growth, look at what is making the GDP growth that 5% plus. And this perhaps is the reason that the world, the people in the world who are looking at inclusivity, inclusive growth, economics for the people, not economics for just multinationals, not economics for the people who have, but also economics for the have-nots, are beginning to drift away from indicators like GDP and looking at what is it that can accrue to the nation and what is it that can accrue to the people. So in looking at what can accrue to the people, when you begin to examine a Jumapa National Apprenticeship Program, sanitary pads, free senior high school, today having a dedicated fund, just by us deciding to uncap the Ghana Education Trust Fund, that should tell you that this is a social democratic government that is shifting the economy from an economy that just works for a few people, the president, Ken Ofori-Atta, and a few people, to a government and an economy that will work for the good people of Ghana.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll come to you, Ernest Nogo, shortly. The NPP are addressing the news conference that we wish to take just a brief part of it, and so we will be there pretty shortly, and then we can hear what exactly is being discussed and the issue.
The budget did not address how they are going to ensure that petroleum product prices do not increase. And once petroleum product prices continue to increase, transport fares will continue to increase. This budget did not address that. This budget did not address energy bills, electricity bills. They didn't talk about how they are going to reduce energy bills. They didn't talk about how to decrease water bills. All these bills will continue to increase, looking at the indicators that we are seeing. And we thought that having campaigned on cost of living crisis and came to power with the support of the Ghanaian people, the least the government would do was to present a budget that will address the cost of living crisis in terms of transport fares, in terms of petroleum product prices, in terms of energy bills. But even when we come to taxes, the minister announced that they are abolishing VAT on motor insurance. Ladies and gentlemen, we were already not collecting VAT on motor insurance. VAT on motor insurance was exempted. Rather, the minister was trying to be smart. They have reintroduced VAT on non-life insurance, with the exception of the motor vehicle insurance. So all other insurance, given that the penetration of the insurance industry is just 1.1%, we are so shocked that the minister will reintroduce VAT on non-life insurance, except motor vehicle insurance. So let us not rejoice over the removal of these taxes, which we expected. What we did not expect was the reintroduction of VAT on insurance. They've also increased the growth and sustainability levy from 1% to 3% for the mining sector, and extended the sunset period from 2025 to 2028. When you heard the minister talking about growth, he said that the growth was influenced by the extractives.
That's a lie.
And so, how can you tax a sector which is giving you growth? The sector that is giving you growth is the sector you want to go and tax. This is not good for industry. This is not good for economic growth. And this is not good for the development of our people. Ladies and gentlemen, betting tax that they said they have abolished. We never collected betting tax. We never implement the betting tax. So to come and tell Ghanaians that you have abolished something that was not implemented is to deceive the people of Ghana. My brothers and sisters, They are talking also about gold board. It's important I address this. The gold board, as you heard the minister talk about, is to be financed from the budget. The minister is allocating $279 million to the gold board. We have never funded the gold purchase program or gold for oil program from the budget.
Never ever.
It's never happened. And so to fund the gold board from the budget, in our view, is just to put in money to be benefited by NDC cronies. It is to create loot and share. The Bank of Ghana was funding the gold for purchase program from a revolving fund, and therefore it did not affect the taxpayer. Now you have a gold board which is going to rely on the taxpayer. We think that this is create loot and share, and we will resist it. Let me also say that the women banking that they said they were going to set up, they have allocated a paltry sum of 50 million Ghana cedis. 51 million Ghana cedis. 51 million Ghana cedis. And the capital requirement is 400 million for banks to be set up. So what are you telling Ghanaian women? Even when you have your vice president being the first woman to occupy that position, we are throwing dust in the eyes of the Ghanaian people, particularly our women who really need all the support we can provide to them. Let me add also on free senior high school program. Free senior high school program is so important for Ghanaians. The NDC, as the minister said, indicated that there is no dedicated funding for free senior high school. That is not true. That is not true. The free senior high school program is funded from the goods and services component of ABFA. That is how we have funded free senior high school. Now he is deciding to uncap GET fund with the view to using the uncapped amount to fund free senior high school. But GET fund is for infrastructure. GET fund is used for infrastructure. Free senior high school is mostly about goods and services. And this is why we applied the goods and services component of the ABFA to fund free senior high school program. Very soon, Ghanaians will see whether they can provide sustainable funding for free senior high school. These are all attempts to come back and tell Ghanaians that it's difficult to fund free senior high school, and therefore parents should pay. That is what they are trying to do. But we will expose them anytime they try to do this. Also, the Agenda 11 projects, we had a dedicated funding source for it. We were funding it with the CAPEX component of ABFA allocated to GIF. The minister is taking that money from GIF. He has indicated that GIF will no longer have that money, which means that there will not be any dedicated funding for Agenda 11 projects, and which means that the president does not intend to complete these projects, which are needed badly by our people in order to be smart. They have reintroduced VAT on non-life insurance, with the exception of the motor vehicle insurance. So all other insurance, given that the penetration of the insurance industry is just 1.1%, we are so shocked that the minister will reintroduce VAT on non-life insurance, except motor vehicle insurance. So let us not rejoice over the removal of these taxes, which we expected. What we did not expect was the reintroduction of VAT on insurance. They've also increased the growth and sustainability levy from 1% to 3% for the mining sector, and extended the sunset period from 2025 to 2028. When you heard the minister talking about growth, he said that the growth was influenced by the extractives.
That's a lie.
And so, how can you tax a sector which is giving you growth? The sector that is giving you growth is the sector you want to go and tax. This is not good for industry. This is not good for economic growth. And this is not good for the development of our people. Ladies and gentlemen, betting tax that they said they have abolished. We never collected betting tax. We never implement the betting tax. So to come and tell Ghanaians that you have abolished something that was not implemented is to deceive the people of Ghana. My brothers and sisters, they are talking also about gold board. It's important I address this. The gold board, as you heard the minister talk about, is to be financed from the budget. The minister is allocating $279 million to the gold board. We have never funded the gold purchase program or gold for oil program from the budget.
Never ever.
It's never happened. And so to fund the gold board from the budget, in our view, is just to put in money to be benefited by NDC cronies. It is to create loot and share. The Bank of Ghana was funding the gold for purchase program from a revolving fund, and therefore it did not affect the taxpayer. Now you have a gold board which is going to rely on the taxpayer. We think that this is create loot and share, and we will resist it. Let me also say that the women banking that they said they were going to set up, they have allocated a paltry sum of 50 million Ghana cedis. 51 million Ghana cedis. 51 million Ghana cedis. And the capital requirement is 400 million for banks to be set up. So what are you telling Ghanaian women? Even when you have your vice president being the first woman to occupy that position, we are throwing dust in the eyes of the Ghanaian people, particularly our women who really need all the support we can provide to them. Let me add also on free senior high school program. Free senior high school program is so important for Ghanaians. The NDC, as the minister said, indicated that there is no dedicated funding for free senior high school. That is not true. That is not true. The free senior high school program is funded from the goods and services component of ABFA. That is how we have funded free senior high school. Now he is deciding to uncap GET fund with the view to using the uncapped amount to fund free senior high school. But GET fund is for infrastructure. GET fund is used for infrastructure. Free senior high school is mostly about goods and services. And this is why we applied the goods and services component of the ABFA to fund free senior high school program. Very soon, Ghanaians will see whether they can provide sustainable funding for free senior high school. These are all attempts to come back and tell Ghanaians that it's difficult to fund free senior high school, and therefore parents should pay. That is what they are trying to do. But we will expose them anytime they try to do this. Also, the Agenda 11 projects, we had a dedicated funding source for it. We were funding it with the CAPEX component of ABFA allocated to GIF. The minister is taking that money from GIF. He has indicated that GIF will no longer have that money, which means that there will not be any dedicated funding for Agenda 11 projects, and which means that the president does not intend to complete these projects, which are needed badly by our people in all the districts across the country. They are also talking about allocating some money for maize allowance and
sectors of the economy, so they know more about audio money. But I can assure you that the NDC government, led by His Excellency President Mahama, is determined, and will plug all the loopholes and raise the needed revenue to cater for some of these most important issues that influence the people of Ghana in the decision that they made on December 7 last year. Look, I am inspired by this budget. One, because for me, it provides hope for the teeming youth to realize that it's not all politicians who say things simply because they are politically sweet to win elections, and that there are some group of politicians like His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the NDC that when they say things on the political platform, they actually mean to carry those things through when they have the opportunity to govern. And that is why I am particularly excited that the e-levy has been scrapped as promised, the betting tax has been scrapped as promised, there's provision made for the Women Development Bank, there's provision made for the Youth Apprenticeship Program, there's provision made for the Big Push. I mean, these were things that were germane, in the last campaign, and many were of the view that we may come, especially as a result of the indebtedness that we are having to deal with, to amend the promises and renegotiate the terms. But His Excellency President Mahama, through the Finance Minister, has given the strongest indication yet that all these were important issues and they remain important and they will be implemented. So we will raise the needed revenue. Look, when we talked about removing the betting tax and others, many projected that it was going to lead to revenue losses, and that those revenue losses may impact on the government intention to spend on other projects. But see how the Finance Minister answered that question with the issue of tax refunds. Many economists didn't see it coming. I bet you. I have spoken to some colleagues on the minority side who have admitted quietly that that is a smart thing to do, and that if these tax refunds we will take advantage of that, we will make up for the shortfall that would have come as a result of the repeal of these taxes.
Roads, big. You see the questions Abuja has to.
I'm on TV as well as and also on Power 97.9 FM, the hottest and the biggest conversation in Ghana inside politics in a different city or 37. Abebe Street, the heart of Accra, also editor in all the 16 regions across the country, north, south, east, and west. Ghana, this year Mugabe Maase atankulega bigger the capacity man. Menam Dijumedi Ebro, free sabri copy say Nunsia Ebebo, and Sempanqua and a day Ebro. Yeni Anuma war a Western regional capital attack de fire live. Sharp 106.9 FM. So Sansuni no more Ziama Elembele. Honorable Kofi Amabua. Na bottom person so fire West End radio so ewo Ziama Elembele. Wina ye di aseda kese Edemamo Northern Regional Capital Tamale dem ewo Kesmi 107.1 FM Boli in the Savannah region Inkelege FM wa WFM. Boko Source 100.1 FM. Zeps FM was Zebela and a Pusiga Wingpang Sampa Wende FM Bruno region stations mienu 90.9 FM on Soko and Yenuanma Omowo Yenuanma Omowo Bruno areas Nina Cranquantaho Airco Domane and Patemuno Omoso ATA Ewo Insuma FM. Our regional capital go so Nananum 92.5 FM Sukremo Ewo and ye Minia Frankenaro any Timuno Mukremo de Nabansu TB and Honorable Collins that and so ATB brother ATB eniminia Makumba anything meaning so life and area enye asem ketu akura if you want to call South Korea Edunu FM poma oba hadwi mfia Edunu FM omusukramo ewo ahafo region if you confirm mantemo asenfo so na Rich FM omusukramo Central Regional Capital Cape Coast Adom Sounds ewo Kotokraba Market omusukramo ewo ho uti region stations miensa you want 9.7 FM Okotekrachi KFM Okpasa and a Boom FM Dollar Mine Krum omusukramo ewo Jasekan Dollar Mine Governor of the Father of West Africa the champion man himself what I want and then they were aid happy nyadi omudishu edi agrokra siakese enko ma muamowo oti region na Jasekan for nyami inshamu no nyamo kese you voter regional capital who are a global 105.1 FM so omusukramo ewo ho yenu anuma wo London ATM ewo GFM radio ne Fire Life radio so America memo Virginia apo 68 FM kwaku skirt ene ne team no so ekuremu on your multi TV digibus radio SY 3.1 omuso ewo bitimi etn ewo ho sanso ena woko Facebook live Power 979 TV SYZ Ghana and on YouTube SYZ broadcasting and some idea ebrewo ene awie ene eyeda Ghana Fusisanfo inua Dr. Keselato Forsen ukopie mu amrase bedwefie ya ene ode Ghana yakohomabo ewo mfimpi mienu ne aduonu enumu ekoto mrase bedwafo ne Ghana fo nyina enim de course wo nyina no nsema majority for eka ene nsema domkumo omo mrase bedwafie minority side no omo leader ya efe no afanyo markets ono so any other members no omo de etu dwa no ye ne betie sa ensem nyina ewo dwumadie so ene nsema taxes awodo a ye everywhere ede nkunimdie ede bre Ghana ene wo hwe en free SHS no so no kwanya aban no efa so se de betumi afa ne ntoma pa efra ene ensem bebrebe ya eka ho a ene yi o my Ghana mofra ya wo mo schools awodo mo yenuanom ma sanitary pad ho nsem no akwakwesi sen ni nyina ye nsem awodo a bete betting tax ene yi 11 ho nsem te sen rotos no so no ho nsem te sen VAT ho nsem te sen ene other taxes ni nyina ye nsem a ye de ebeo asada kese koma natural mineral water Hebron Hills International School Medimoses Clinic and Herbal Center Safari Valley Eco Resort omusu krayemu Victory Garlic Mesa Efi Dr. Amako amusu Herbal Clinic ede amusu Garlic Bitters ene yenua power specialist eba hospital ye maame adua ya onusu ekremu ho a omunyina eboa dwumadie no ene awie Medimoses Clinic and Herbal Center so ekan ho semeti omo ye na ehomra eba afi ye begebre na ye biebie nsem no nyina mu ede amai Kwaba Edeba TVS was at Power 97.9 FM support from the 900 million angels ANG Gabriel and Tuesday the 11th of March 2025 with the anima ede semni nyina ede ebrewo bemata mawdo bibia woni wiase afana bia wo bia no. This is your number one political talk show in Ghana Inside Politics ya minua Kevin Asante the Bugnatus man what she say you made nyina fefefe ye fi sabri kopim say no se ebebo no yede nyina no ede ebrewo ni wahu ensemo awodo a ede ebrewo na enei Ghana memu eniema ebeye de yi papa honorable ato force Dr. Keselato force enei was share some of the key promises aban no de ma Ghana for during the 2024 campaign ya His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wotumi gina SMP so na wode boshe bi edema Ghana for the capacity man His Excellency John Dramani Mahama be mani munyamfo ya oja onya oba papa wono so ta na chie ma Melodina Mahama no se nya oba for the first time Ghana ye history mu si nya oba ababaye yen vice president of the republic ye mame prof na Jane Opokwa Agyeman me boni dia no mapagya mu sanse woye awoba tampa na ensema honorable Atoforsen ya woye finance minister enei wode tu mrase begyafo no enim etere se we His Excellency John Dramani Mahama oye obi a oka woye wose ade yo John Dramani Mahama sankofa Jomama and we obi a oka woye ukase meye obeye ni mekan b obeye ni b itu oye obi a Ghana fo ewo gidie wo mu na kwa Ghana fo nya say gidie on the 7th day of December 2024 moto santene eto abama ni di boom 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 oka obeye Jomama GME oka obeye papa ne boshe wose nyina ebem yenti nsema honorable Dr. Keselato Forsen wadi tuja ene mrase beje FIFA promises His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ede to Ghana for anima watimi deliver
committed to running a lean efficient government of 60 ministers. Mr. Speaker, we have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to scrapping the e-levy. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to scrapping the betting tax. we have delivered. Right Honorable Speaker, we committed to eliminate academic fee for first-year public tertiary students. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to providing free tertiary education for all people with disability. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to providing dedicated source of funding for free secondary education. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to distributing sanitary pads to our schoolgirls. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to uncap get fund. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to uncap the national health insurance. We have delivered. Right Honorable Speaker, we committed to uncap the road fund to maintain our roads. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to hold a national forum on education. We have delivered. Right Honorable Speaker, we committed to hold a national dialogue on the economy. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to deliver free primary health care. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to deliver Mahama Care Program to finance the treatment of non-communicable disease. Mr. Speaker, we have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to deliver free textbooks to school children. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to begin the implementation of $10 million Big Push program. Mr. Speaker, we have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to constitute a review process for our constitution. Mr. Speaker, we are delivering. Mr. Speaker, we committed to build the Ghana we want together. We are delivering. Right Honorable Speaker, we committed to recover all looted state funds under our Operation Recover All Loot program. We are delivering. Mr. Speaker, we committed to reset Ghana. We are delivering.
Well, that was Finance Minister Dr. Keselato Forsen and Sema Ekoso Ewo Parliament Enono. Now was I edu to just say aban ahwe etumi aye key reforms betumi aboa na etumi reset the economy. Yinti Dr. Keselato Forsen.
Honorable Speaker, to demonstrate this agenda, as I said, I came to this house with a presentation of a bag proudly made in Ghana by Horseman. Mr. Speaker, this should be encouraged. Right Honorable Speaker, beginning this year, we will formalize the export of Ghanaian labor to other countries. We will ensure a structured and beneficial system for Ghanaian workers seeking employment abroad and create safer legal pathway for them to work in foreign countries whilst protecting their rights and welfare. Mr. Speaker, this will also reduce illegal migration, prevent worker exploitation, and maximize the economic benefits of remittance and boost foreign exchange earners. Mr. Speaker, I now take you to how these resources will be allocated in the year 2025. Mr. Speaker, we will provide a cedi equivalent of $279 million as a revolving fund for the Ghana Gold Board to be able to purchase and export at least 3 tons of gold per week from small-scale miners. Mr. Speaker, we have allocated 13.85 billion Ghana cedis for Big Push projects. Mr. Speaker, we have allocated 13.85 billion Ghana cedis for the Big Push program. Mr. Speaker, an amount of 499.8 million Ghana cedis has been allocated for the non-academic fee policy for all first-year students in public tertiary institutions under the No Fee Stress initiatives. Mr. Speaker, we have allocated an amount of 292.4 million Ghana cedis to commence the distribution of free sanitary pads to female students in primary and secondary schools. Mr. Speaker, we have allocated again an amount of 242.5 million Ghana cedis to support the victim of Akosombo Dam spillage. Right Honorable Speaker, we have also allocated an amount of 200 million Ghana cedis to support the victim of tidal wave disaster that recently displaced residents in certain part of K2 South constituency. Mr. Speaker, the overarching concern about free secondary education has been its quality and the absence of dedicated sources of financing. His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama has resolved it. Mr. Speaker, let me take this again. The overarching concern about free secondary education has been its quality and the absence of a dedicated sources of funding. His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama has resolved the funding challenges by uncapping the GET fund. Mr. Speaker, this makes available dedicated funding for full financing of free senior secondary school education and free tertiary education for persons with disability. Mr. Speaker, therefore, Capping and Realignment Act will be amended to uncap the Ghana Education Trust Fund. Mr. Speaker, this year, the budget for free senior secondary school education program is 3.5 billion Ghana cedis. By uncapping the GET fund, we will be making available an additional 4.1 billion Ghana cedis specifically for financing free secondary education program and other related expenditures. Mr. Speaker, aside the uncapping of debt fund, we have also absorbed the debt service made up of interest and principal from the Dache bond that debt fund contracted. Right Honorable Speaker, we have also allocated an amount of 564.6 million Ghana cedis for the provision of curriculum-based textbooks covering the following. 1. 4 sets of KG books and workbooks for about 2.8 million learners. Mr. Speaker, we have also provided for 4 sets of primary textbooks for about 800,000 learners. Mr. Speaker, we have also provided for 9 sets of SHS textbooks for about 540,000 learners.
Dr. Keselato Forsen SI Edu Tuja Kasafa key policy intervention ebeboa support job challenges and economic transformation. Yeti mo kafa.
Right Honorable Speaker, the key policy intervention to support economic transformation and job creation agenda include the following. So Speaker, the 24-hour economy aimed at stimulating economic growth by creating an enabling environment for businesses and institutions to operate 24/7 in 3 shifts of 8 hours each to boost production, promote productivity, and generate well-paying jobs. We will be presenting the policy to Parliament in due course for consideration. Accordingly, Mr. Speaker, the Labour Act, the GIPC Act, and other enabling legislations will be reviewed to support the 24-hour economy policy. Right Honorable Speaker, we will roll out the implementation of the $10 billion Big Push policy for strategic infrastructure development to open up the country and drive sustainable economic growth. Right Honorable Speaker, the Ghana Gold Board will be established in the course of the year and as soon as possible. So Speaker, we will stabilize the Ghana cedi and provide stability to the macroeconomy. We will implement an economic transformational agenda underpinned by structural reforms anchored on promoting modernized agriculture, agribusiness and value addition for import substitution, export and job creation. Mr. Speaker, we will complement monetary policy with fiscal and real sector policies to reduce inflation. Food inflation will be reduced through the implementation of the Agriculture for Economic Transformation agenda anchored on our 24-hour economy. Right Honorable Speaker, we will undertake key structural reforms to support inclusive economic growth, fiscal and debt sustainability, sound public financial management, efficient public service delivery, and good governance. Mr. Speaker, we will restructure the Bank of Ghana to strengthen its independence and operationalize its efficiency mandate. Mr. Speaker, we will ensure that social protection is adequately catered for in the course of the year. We will use government procurement to drive Made in Ghana agenda to promote production and consumption of Made in Ghana goods. Right Honorable Speaker, to demonstrate this agenda, as I said, I came to this House with a presentation of a bag proudly made in Ghana by Horseman. Mr. Speaker, this should be encouraged. Right Honorable Speaker, beginning this year, we will formalize the export of Ghanaian labor to other countries. We will ensure a structured and beneficial system for Ghanaian workers seeking employment abroad and create safer legal pathway for them to work in foreign countries whilst protecting their rights and welfare.
Very well, that was Finance Minister Dr. Keselato Forsen live on TVS and also on Power 97.9 FM. This is your number one political talk show, Inside Politics, and also Gusua Wuti on Facebook like Power 979, TVS Ghana Sanson on YouTube, SWAZ Broadcasting. Honorable Linda Obenwa Oklo MP4, Sao Sudoku, greetings to you, one hour Greater Accra Regional Minister. Also enjoy show no ene ewie papa when you team no nyame and come home on pajamo. Now also in budget year 2025 year and some woman no e say mebunu no ho ato wo san say we have betting tax ya every ho e dey ama mebunu na e say e dana kwamu ye papa amafo bibiri na na ebisa say na covid levy no so akwa akosise ni nyina nche say wo hwe IMF International Monetary Fund wo mo hye mu no e wo say aban tumi engage IMF extensively said e be ya enema betimi atoto akwam na G11 no so no every ho amaye eni ya CCI betting tax and so ayeden every ho amaye no covid 11 no so ebetumi ayeden every ho e de amaye His Excellency John Dramani Mahama President ya Mugabe Maase me 900 million angels in Ghana fo nyina no ye wogidi ewu mu no ye de ya obe deliver na sese Ghana fo hu se bosha wo sheye nyina no nkakran na nursing ye training fo omusu alawai sese ya allocate sika for that teacher training for ya no musu allocation den eko ya mo 2025 budget no mu apprenticeship won sem sika akọ de amamo sanso na enema bebre we rotos ya say aban sande bi ma so ne be technology driving na che say technology driven tino enema bibia wodu ho na papa na che say ayeti say oko UAE Canada and UK any other countries na enu an say ja wudi sie ma fe na woko wini obia eni asembia ewo ho ya de bebuwa yi papa na wo say domestic debt no service no in 4 years na just say 150.3 billion cedis ni nyina no aban ne hwe toto enema yi ya sati ya service and debt ni nyina ya de a good sat edema aban no buffers were built to cushion debt burden. Only $64,000 was left in the sinking fund. We are sinking fund. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama etumi echichetu wakama kama covid by ya dese bo my Ghana ye papa na na kufadu uluma onim sikadie oni na ban kanu for ata ne ba womiamu ene esika wo mo form ne tese de obi asi aboa wo pro wasi abefuma wodi abe na nse woti nyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonyafonya camp ko wi ti se de omo me se camp wona no ade ke wo se me de mibu 18 aja say yenkonko na Akufo-Addo ne nkofo mabese wo man pansam ya second fund in school mujan wo no $64,000. Can you imagine? Ulmaya wo 80 plus ya wonim sikadie esini ubia under the Fourth Republic is the worst president of Ghana yet enya under the Fourth Republic na memo enye ni suba enye bibia na na do ni bibia ni wa de bebo wo man we e man fin what you waste of taxpayers money security enyina yenya hospital wom yenya kwan papa ewom na ne omu free what they are talking about agenda 111 and I'm very very upset with this minority, that minority we omu ubia no say omu kasa efa agenda 111 we say na some no more power no say agenda 111 hospitals no more than half into the movie no se mo wi a adeti na se de jomama na modem ade so eba abeso ano jomama de oba yo si hospitals mi hu yo okọ sha wo su do kudodo wa ebisi ho okọ maritime hospital omo wo port na no temane ne patam omu hu okọ bank hospital cantonment ya hu okọ University of Ghana UGMC ewo ho omu hu udu reji ya hu hospital papa ewo ho udu tepamia medium afano north hu hospital papa ewo ho udu aferi hu hospital papa ho wudu abetifi ene ne patemu hospital papa dan ewo ho wudu kumawu hospital papa ewo ho jase yakase ye bodin a ye beba ba won say his excellency John Dramani Mahama obi a wode amemu papa edebre etimemufo a wo mo wo oman Ghana mu na wo financial sector won so no wo say no ya de say struggle ho ye papa ya jase wo hwa enema be yi ama enema so ayedan akọ ama Ghana for memofo no etumi edini ye Excellency John Dramani Mahama memo we me medical aka say me say wasa we wadwuma ye ne wa anya na me betena wa don't think say me baba be defend o me fire wa ma wotiate muntie ni ye be say me ye me checks men kasa ana me so men kasa just like that too before say me kasa na minim de meka inti say we appointee ye de adwuma hye sa say ye frequency o mini Mugabe de say me ne ye fine masa me ni adamfo wasemba ne beto menim na me say ade we djuma we wanye ni ye ye de djuma hye ho nsa say ye wa ye kokwasa ebegu enwu a me ntena se madwoma ma nenim wase me maka kiro say awieu anopawu anaju de sumu me defending His Excellency John Dramani Mahama memu we said de be ya say animguase ba me ebi bekame sansa yemu ne sodi gina ye den kwata male ko winiba kwata ko ade ko Cape Coast ko Kumase ne ko ne ba ne de ko ato se papa we ni papa yi se wo se mo de o man ne sensa sansa ye nim no wa ye bi pen timo fa o man ne sensa na Ghana 40 so frɛ ana mo de o man no aye ye maame fo sina nurse mu no mu nam gates mu anaju de suom onabu Julius Debra mu me maame Valerie Soya mu minia ba Maria Wisimu no mo ninamu obo bia da komo yenia ba Joyce ba wanaju de suom standogbe no mo ko na o mo ba Dr. Callistus Brahma Mahama no mo ko no mo ba Iron Boy anaju de suom no testi eni mu na wo drive John Mahama na enei endis aba power ufi sa me ba betra wa ma John Mahama na ni maguase appointed bia ni ho am spell wo ye mistake no wanye wadwuma yie me fire wa ma wotiate would have fear or favor. It was so be I and a juma ye. Meme wahani de juma semesa. Make sure say the idea semesa no and say if it must be done, it must be done well. Discipline the idea me fe niagro. And the nipa be one man discipline mo akwema won't even progress it. So we a leader. Was so we are very very disciplined. Baby and the than a photo. Baby a enye no manipa ntia say enye. What you say manipa no hu mistake ya waye no say enye. So we a leader now, you will be a you will never succeed. Also do na the AC form. This is a type of leader na Ghana for everywhere. Na Akufo-Addo no ababe ye tarant bi, wababe te say Idi Amin, wababe te say obi yan kanasem ana Ghana for ye kwoto aba enidi ye no. Kan kabi wakasa eno anu no. Ahemfo ya won so no kwa wa chia wo mo no. Waso mo sore no mo enchia no. Wonna manu no akura na kwenya wodine hene. No one the kingdom within hini wakoba bia utumfo se tutuo te kokoso asantime we fie ko wura ha wodi na kwenya eko ba bia no fa na kwenya nko yi che bia nyimfie enei ade na yakọ 68 independence na Akufo-Addo wan fa na kwenya na anko Jubilee House nye Jubilee House wona na no and now I call one time and seasons. And mere dane and mere sesa. Inti nipa da sani bia wasa wasa sa ho. And the man was appointees no matter what yeah. And the man was here chase bi mu. Ebi mu koda bia na 3 days. Sama hwe ya. Imu bi mu ho a, mu bi mu ho a, mo anya madwuma yi a, aban betimi asesa in future. Sa de be yemu. Humble advice am de mamu no mabunu no especially because se mu disappointed the youth now. Ye nyina ye ni magu ase. Se president bi by na appointees no na chese o ha mabunu wo mu pa. Se mabu ye ma opposition a wasa wo to me we lead by example no obi ahun say esimesi waya de. So ye general manager na ye the program amount 2 years 3 years on fa kapre ma station we program no sponsors obetra no wa waste 3 hours airtime na woko abe cassette obi anti obi an sponsor wa now that's what was we general manager kai e was wo kasa e de resource eba resource oriented wo kasa e de sika kudi eba wo program ni program wo sa wo kasa adofo bebre ba se e ba be sponsor program we and in your first way capacity and your talk and your kasa bebrebe and top onko appointees munya jumano finance minister and ne bibia fantastic Mohammed says how budget we and yansafo kuku dan mu ona wo yes tepe mu ya mu presidency wo ya penifo a mu wo nimdie wo finance mu Honorable the Bank of Ghana wale mai adongomo yamishiramo Dr. Esiama, governor of the Bank of Ghana, fantastic man, God bless you. Mabwa Juma papa Kevin Asante your producer say Mabwa Juma Rafu say Mabwa Juma na Rafu de minim da menyano we de mama gonsa minim da menya ene ye benada edu benada se ya pom de no so ya de hu hia ye papa ene solak ne ne na hia ye tie ne wo ma ye ne solak
yes you bless your share it was so much biochemistry and you share DNT and as a causes of what we do in our women and also they say our for so DNT and my friend sexual weakness SW no ya na tada be woman so no ya fa ne sa causes DNT dey ba you need a DNS sa DNS how do you know yen chance is me me so one the first cause na yen me won pem be is age dependent so for me man on yes 100 age bracket to be a teenager na say every 18 no ekosa to 30 now compared to pension 60 years to 70 obenya age from about 90% of them are strong e was say be empaso compared to one or pensioners no yes age a play role e we bear me hwemre yen show the biochemistry behind it one yen discover erection DNA erection Bible says Adam who Eve no was it Eve was it Adam was it tell them see Eve tell Adam say hey I'm seeing some oranges and mini hey everybody them have your flat 2 oranges I don't know me sir was it Eve 10 again Eve tells Eve no hand vibrating me stiff and when my shame ma said yen bia e we yen ho a e na exciting more na exciting ba adwimo no na eni hwede was ya de akono I say if who edin tubu hu eduaba no se Bible say ye nife sa de enso ya ye nife enife na if ye kotidi tie ni fa ye enso say kotidi etubo se ye bi hu sa de na ye se pa na information ba adwim na adwim se information akoma sa akoma e monja na o pamphlet problem no fa de fa genital veins no sabe eni ntine wo ya de ho no na moja russia fam na sabe ade ne so de rinchiri it's mode of action no na just ade bi be impede blood flow efa genital veins no e no so tell say sabe bit na block na say e bit na impair say ade bit na sorry one see ye nyini a ye nhware bi ha on say sabe I say water hose a wo de ho ade more na wo de water hose no so for ho car na watam no obo say kaka mo inside na ehi water bo say ho na pai ana say abufu adentia thickness na be slim ana say ekofom it's not the one they find wear and tear it's the cause science no is it protect repair raw tissues more na said we didn't book game na age of 8 now so shall 18 na warm up was shall 2025 it yen shall say 18 book game na 35 no obi shall say 15 it was born 20 years or 35 it was adna ye adwuma masebe genital veins thickness reduce Yankopon so design wa be for auto system ade they call the certain shock ema no events be pai amani pana collapse wa dey so no e say auto system e remedy na say o ba say eh to bo ase kwa meta ahwa no collapse to bo ase answer it ye say game na scientists that be thickness reduce so dey be match it ahwa na apai a collapse no tinye stop on hold on to bo say say sorry na hold on so ache no to bo say na pina kriam Entina the power from Zipman herbal capsules. Zipman herbal capsules. Your body man say panyai wo better than it. Adenti ye design model for Zipman herbal capsules no. E ko show you the man. You had it. You pick plant materials. And bioactive compounds. When say e be kind of cell mitosis. Cell mitosis ko prevent fast production ho. It will bounce one and will consume the saponins and alkaloids. A be in this very cell mitosis. Now, what my internal thickness in every reduce are producing more ama thickness about normal. So that baby imagine more than a pressure was so na at one pump no net no pressure for anger na get them ama zero ama my be pan etiabo. It is that Zipman capsules will be wow. Number 2, more on the game no year but enka come here enter ho so no 1 hour for 45 minutes run. More now akumani now want to force run. Now once we time we me kenke. I say what when so me say we can't do it days no. We tell once no aka hana katare aka fam. To once mo jere by papa if happen hana ka fam. 1 yes I say no. Yem pa esa mo jere ba na e heti be aka fam say pa na a clot e na aggregation of blood. Now you more a clot to get na genital veins ni. So after seeing your game now not back to normal if you be say sabati baby. It next time up free flow na kwa e kwa pin the position you to blood flow. E tell say e be say I dem sorry but say me dey. It's not Zipman herbal capsules. No, you pick one of the supplements. I don't say air washer. Say the baby accident. Say a devil who sacrot and kitty feeling every move. I be wonder how. Now volume up a command pump your phone. Let me fire honor. I must say in Russian as a bema or Indian every pair. If I picking one at the back also, don't say terpenoid. I want to buy compounds when you say Zipman herbal capsules no more. The girl said no a sustain releaser as Jenny say I didn't care 5 minutes no actually got 20 minutes ma obrahome yem pentem now they are consequent here and ni na taje no ni na sabi enigia esa da no mami enya na mo madwe si to sene release na agenda from no sa enigia ya ne bopa oba ne be man kutahore no won setnya kanawie peye no what do something penso no entina Zipman herbal capsules your body man say panai wo better than no me ebio di ntia me mam ho yemre e wa de boni for genital infections where a tell you the pa make no let me no e maburu no e san say fan say first pa na you know say what try ni man you know say time say ye pa me papa no tun say unya gata no nya selome za gata so selome so eswa and I say where no nya kete no nya tall no nya short no nya chocolate no nya fair now the black and darkness of from to all passing so one say candida infection ni pass yama the family geo any ono as a because geo any ono na organ so pass ma wo it was an say no bon so ho no ma I ensure say bem en sansa ba ho now there's a link between any the family sexual weakness say net here I said the outlet functions of game remember they na make anything inside baba enti say we book game no na se sperm na se pa urethrum se ehase so ba hwade wa ha sa pipe we dey game se be entin na wo ho no mo dey fam na dey fa no erection no pipe na se be dey gun sofa e ho na se be sperm ne fa e na ho na sa infection ka jiwo ani o ensuo no e ho na ne so mam na ensuo na infection so no ne thickness no e ya ko se sperm no It was a game, Maase. Now, yes, about course your babunkum. Then you probably say, baby, you say game, Maase. Name so as a spell never me was a Jew and you never. Sir, confusion must know put them within Jamas problem never see a penny. Just say, 70,000 won't have been. Since an auto function of 7 possible, and yeah, something never. It's a master bonus of 70 in swear, I didn't show Master Nakati. Na hweo abesneko you have word dot and yes pema entina sabe extensions bema sabe insurance and sansa no hono once no you should be pipe for so much about mixture no then class I infection name for oh yeah now the Zipman herbal capsules panano e be atwa so e won say apa now once mudi awo pen won sakani yenti simaboti waba di entina baka se menyatenga but you say Canada Abicans all day proba himfiwa sebe shadibo ha fansa a entrance ni and a bay 8 inch of flabu ha as the first pablo was a ban then for play come don come fa I will come I will go I want it give it to make a kaka never beti now you do sell say I just sent to it na a lubricate himfiwa. Here's the case oba all day proba himfiwa all day plan sha se fi ha neba all day plan so see pinam emi e tick and emi e crispy na say emi e lumpy apapom yes enso so betina efi ano ha aba yeah to say original sebe enso papa ese ban ese funa neba ba beta we na chi yes of we say neba eti ya ba na ha na kwa ese say lampint no akwa so all the grease na dia bosnya fra awo konti na wo so possible we say dem everything nsa ho eti ya ba ho ma twitwi na konti pen na ye ma no mte obunte be. It was the next time I dare Sabano. We are not so happy now. What's it? You and you are corner when you're done. No, you. Think so bad. But when Sanka Solaka Babishano, Yanka or Bopuano, any sense of running name for never had enough. You may papa na but entry never duplicate. I didn't come out. I was see a pie by a cost smooth. Which you hear him. A bassan a sign with your appetite. A more need shadow. It's not so like a bad Miss Ghana for Maase as such as answer a prepare money or more kubuta. It's not so like a bad Miss your body money say as such time. Now zip money memangwa was a panine. No bet a dene. Kasi biafa and comedy who was your money in Comosia. NTNO a 0245 61 6028 0245 61 6028. I am busy after Airtel Majoso. Airtel non 0261 73 6263 0261 73 6263. Zipman capsules panai wo Betty Ebene Cecilia.
That's no better say so the apomode commotion e dey my live on TV as was at Rosom Power 97.9 FM and Tuesday the 11th of March 2025. Na o hwe ene budget na budget we dey need asu papa feeling ankasa room the feeling is really deep. That say semuno edidaye ma wuti kamuna wuti se de ono about aye atofo se kasa na fe minority fu team fifri nti we nyina nsuna mu betimi aye ne manye we nyina na mu betimi aye ne manye mu di yi levi ba ye Ghana fu su yi levi mu o mu se ko yi levi ba ye ko IMF yi levi ba ye ko IMF na mu sandi ku wa IMF enni wo hwe eye nsese ye pa aba yesi jomama ba free SHS will be twem na napomunam na afanyoma kensimunam kenufoyata munam no mu ye campaign jomama ba free SHS no a review ni tese cancellation in teachers moto abama jomama pe oba ya free SHS will be twem enne free SHS na afa ntoma ba efra ya enne allocation akọ ede amawo mu ahompe aban we aban baby na obetimi enya trust ede amano ayamemu bonnet tantana etwemu no enya de NPP de mu beso na ye ehunu power sesi e bi mu ndezabia mehu se jandam adwuma kateche fifa me ne kuma wa start ye ne dendenden mitunifu a wonti kateche ne mu be kasa che opposition ho mu betena wa che wo What was say ko 8 years. Gadaje when is ko 8 years from 2017 to 2025. Enye easy. Jani no be wom. Ati ase. Inti sa jande mo adwuma ne de mo ba ye ba mo ba bre pa wiemfu adwuma mo ba bre ko say wo ba be say opposition wo ba be defend and now wo ba be bo aban ne chi a hwe ye tra ho ndi sia ye betwa bia e be bo aban ne chi dom kama na mo people now they are claiming say they didn't implement betting tax. Can you imagine? Yeah, budget presentation ni kwa wia MPP for ya. They say momo kasa Ghana for head and team bi mu. Yin tiu bi an MPP for. Chese mo betimi akamo ye. Betting tax and one kofa bae. Me papa Ejaisa Kawunya ne we bi call ye on the 2nd February 2023 on kofa betting tax e be Ghana for. So you sit down and ask yourself say some kofu wo mu ye nipaku ben. JB Dankwan wo mu ye hefo. Ye tie and some press conference wo ma ye nene. Claim say wo ma implement betting tax. Now so the betting tax no wo ma mu twa na te wo mo no ye te wo mo mu dia ye te wo mo no. Na sika no ko he. Why implement e da na ne te nipa no. It is angofo.
Betting tax that they said they have abolished. We never collected betting tax. We never implement the betting tax. So to come and tell Ghanaians that you have abolished something that was not implemented is to deceive the people of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, betting tax that they said they have abolished. We never collected betting tax. We never implement the betting tax. So to come and tell Ghanaians that you have abolished something that was not implemented is to deceive the people of Ghana.
Oh, Yana sometimes me tena se pan to we na why fasting. Muslimi and was within a full at all why fasting we. So Oma implemented betting tax. And as at a manager mama air campaign so about betting tax will be here for no more heaven. And also more mucha bet no. If you are crossing in big crabby home. I don't want to mention this. Idea you to know a bomb kakra. And umudi anamoti womo. This canon about your mama Juana. In 2024, no betting tax no namotia. More implementing anamote. This is useless statement. Only a useless man will, I mean, we organize such a press conference now or 2 foot to the good Ghana for any. Also, I Ramadan in Pony. And the Cassia won't miss you, Kurana will break fast and Kababo. Kuran and pen through chat. Some ma implemented betting tax. I'm a voice to channel mudia near Tiwamo. Titia near Tennis Kanokohi. Sikana no motiano na kwa hin. Ti said the makofa hotel e de aba. Information any ya picket say ake say eye bawomia ana hotel na eye ne dia no. Ne huwam bi no. Ya ECG meters amokofa ba ya say nyina ne creditor ye to edigu prepaid ye to no. Sikani bi ko bawomia ho. Insanity. You people are telling us today say my implement a betting tax. Me adia bia sa bet nya dia me de me hu wemu ntwa bi da minim si desi twa no no to me ntwa bi da minim si desi twa no ko me dina se wan twa asem beba me ma wo sotro sisi enti no me ma ho kura na ma ba bitwa ma bet no minim si desi ya no se bi se team bi bo a Manchester ni Liverpool a wo be ya ne dan minim se ya app bi na ba download se de minim city twa minim city tie but ngofo bi o mo be me no ti make a say sa tax no eye betting tax no ya de eku mo papa dia ni ate today you are telling us say mo implement mo na fikini mutum banza o be ka kire say mo implement eye betting tax ko ka we kire no Nanya Ghana for na beka we ya kire wo mo MPP aban ma twam mo ka kire say mo implement betting tax na ska na mo tena kwan mo fi say Ghana for agimi MB before move free Ghana for Jimmy. One enemy say better tax muna mo de buy. One enemy say you levy muna mo de buy. Na no ade na yesi mpe. We campaign against it in 2024. Incessantly John Dramani Mahama what can be or setting by BS or about better tax any levy will be here for including COVID tax. Na COVID tax na conditions international monetary fund that is IMF mutino ana ma hono ekonkon ho sa ma jomama be COVID tax no so afiri ho ama Ghana for ho an ya wo adena under pandemic yare bremu ana Togo ene Burkina any other neighboring countries na wo mo nya COVID go to Cote d'Ivoire any for the tax wo mo COVID tax ye adwuma ewo ho. So the Jomama na mi jini die no Jomama na mi wo gidie wo mu Ghana for wo gidie wo ma about 58% wotimi enya ye ewo Ghana under the our history under the Fourth Republic e bi si enya 2 tests in parliament no o di so Ghana for nyina so ba yi levy obi ene wayi free SHS so be ye ni ye ene yate nka nurse training alawa wose obe dey o allocate sika teacher training there or allocate sika mo ya no for way mo tena simpe so ye campaign say Jomama ba nursing training allowance obetwam alawa no obetwam teacher training alawa obetwam tema mo nto aba nyede e ma Jomama Ghana fu hu sa atoro na namodie nti betin tasse mo de be ye den ade a enya adwuma no existe say yi na vini wa arada ne buy books mu say government tax ni wa e de ne buy books mu se better tax no mo implement a e di better tax no na ye den e wo ye books mu kan ufurata ho mo so sa papa we so say we bi a yesusu say mo we nkata mo so say wo de ne sa bo man sika ma na say we yisu o man sika e wo kwambone so post for hwe na wa say wono na e mata mo pese wo kire no Ghana bia ye bisa say ya ye serious na special prosecutor. Why you serious about your adwuma no? Second for that no che da o pese oba Ghana. Anamu tetre your friend was Supreme Court no. Wo moto mo sa friend ye no. Wo man fa krata bia amre so first day court no. Ye kwa okekese ate wo radio so social media ntini e bae because of the respect we have for the court. And some court no wo mo serve ye. Because we went to court without not having any document. Say ya serve ya say ya best serve what say ya serve Supreme Court ankasa wo ma serve yen enso ni ato yen sa frɛ wo court say na ye here mo court ya ana mo convict yen kan you feel that what sometimes o kasa ne bi mutibe bi no mo free say Mugabe no ase na ne samna no hye na ka me yesuro ma wa be da no watie me e betra na me ya monyo a obetie me wasa me kasa makasa ni wa utrim na won sa me ya powerful Mugabe me nya bete powerful Mugabe it means no hwe kono kora na ni menam na ye Tuesday ye komedi mafo heba clinic ne ne cappuccino nkwadwetwe nkomo dok mo agwaba
mejo so opani kasi
we dey na wo maye
me dan se ma me mfa nchia emfa mfiri medima fo eba hospital doctor time da so da no mfama wahefo ene watiefo ene awie ana se ene anwumre na medima fo eba hospital ye numbers na mpacho medima fo eba hospital ye nya aduro mfa nkogu chemical shop na se drugstore se kokotobi eye hospital asoye ena obani asa oyare enti ebia last week no premium service amaso sanse na doctor tiana na echi watukan kakra tembia meka chiro se doctor wo ho ebrebia no bra no okosua de ode bibidro na ya adwuma na nso no eba hwehwemu ahodo a doctor edimu ntintimai pa eno ntinyame adoma Friday ebe premium service na beba so nti wa last week na ohwe ne musa obeba medima fo eba hospital na wantumi ama no nyame adoma Friday we obetumi aba okire nyame adoma doctor betena se opoku asemayira kumase abua kwa atwema agoro branch no so be ya adwuma na ne Thursday nso akra opoku asemayira doctor betena se kumase abua kwa atwema agoro so be ya adwuma Friday premium service no ekoso ewo enkranpe poku asemayira sa wodo ka na eba no anso bebo medima fo eba hospital akra do beba sanso na mpacho ebi ame no kasa no o kofa trotro taxi bi na o fa mpacho o besi poku ase a obenya ka edo eba medima fo eba hospital ewo mayira na ekwan na bi atwa so kama nti uni how bia ye numbers no TV no so
bara bia na wono radio e na wutie 0244774282 0244774282 0500727215 0500727215 and 0245449592 0245449592 medima for ba hospital ene wadi ahia ene awie ma me papa me nua ba me nua ba ma jebre na tie me yarwa na fi utiri so koso nanse medima for na wo so de ba o so dima for ne asafo awrade onya me obo soro no obo asase na obo me no mi no se o si nipa da sane mu ne aduaba na momfa haban na mfa nsa mo ho yare no ho asam ena me ken haban kuto na doctor de adwuma aya bibiduro na doctor de adwuma o medima for ba hospital entu mama doctor nkofa anointing oil mfa mawo na ansa na doctor be mawo eduro wo medima for ba hospital no agese wo hwe ni pedue no hu ade kodie poten a ha wansa na wo de eduro e de amawo medima for ba hospital awia mame no nsu ade kakra emfa ma enwo haban bia otwede ampo nyame eboye na adibom nyina ya na maka sa adibom nyina ya ne ya ka akire mpacho nyam na mo ya ka akire ne etia no se adibom nyina no ade a onyame botwa ato a ye friend se adede nkruma menim se woni mahaban kura wonni mahaban kura buso bi se adede nkruma den ne brofo ne beka nse castor leaf and se castor plant and woni castor plant a okọ internet no so betuma bo castor plant eno ho asem na me no beka ne se adibom nyina ne twa to eno ne haban a ye bo twa to e wa adibom nyina eno nti ena bra na Jonah onyankopon yeso wasoma Jonah se minisuro mintimi nko Jonah 4:6 okay nkan wa eho sa abra Jonah ya so wonkro no etokobo asese edisi na pampam se omuntumi hu no ana onhwe de ekoso ewokuro no musanse no wosuro eho no onyankopon ma adede nkruma efifiriye castor plant no efifiriye na haba ne tretre pa efifiri efa Jonah so etikoba no sa no obi ene wo hu anto se ade chen yansa ana onyankopon ma Jonah etomum tieniye pa castor plant asem na me no ken on say your castor oil na the castor oil ya na abrofo ne ye de ban sa castor oil no ade a ye de no say oba eho a ewo tirase afi utire nyi bubu ye de ye etiri mu adwuma ana afi skin ni nyina castor oil no ene ye de ye ene me no ka adede nkruma ho asem pacho na haban na awo no etetope wo ye oba wo ye pemfo na ofa na fe oyam edefra emu na o de sra wo furu so ampacho obi biara ne ho betimi di asrama ya akora nda biara da o de sra for once pe obi biara ne ho betimi di asrama ya akora nda biara da sanso na wo ye bema na se bema o mema sam wo foma wo si usisi but adede nkruma ne hini no ye wade o wa de ka ho na wasa mpacho no anu no midima for ba hospital ne ani odi nkomo no me se eya bibiduro onyankopon de ache ye ba doctor say oba onu anka se tutu amana ko sansa ansa na sa de nkruma no obekwa akotu ni hini obete na haban no eya na haban no wa chiwade a yemfa nka wo mo sanso na obete dia ba fie no akwan abefa so ye no kranso eya de mu ento anwe abete dia ba fie obeyo no but entimi nsa yare ba midima for ba hospital de akwankere ne no ma ahodo ewo ho nyina onyame abie nani no kira no sansa wase o mane ya bibiduro nyina eso agya enu nti oba medimafo a doctor hwe na waboa na sa castor plant anasa adede nkruma meka ho asem no ne ate no se ne hine medical ka ho asem da obi asema wa no so ane ne yedi treaty sa so na stomach ulcer pa adede nkruma yedi treaty mane ye the dry leaf no medical ka ho asem da sa so na oba onyem so no akwara bi wo ho se wo de castor plant ya wo no bi aya aduro ma oba asa ebeka 2 months mo ba na wo na wa enya ya afi oto aso sape obewa akwara na enu so hajaja na enu so ye krakrakrakra ba dia so anko na kwala na eko enu nti se dia duro ma ebeka 2 months mo awa mpacho na yajai ye ma onto aso mfa nsabiem eye adede nkruma ho asem era me no kamidimafo heba hospital poko asem ayera kumase eye duro kwa atwuma ogo na sa edua ya meka so nyame boy ya adibom nyina na twa to no esanso ye for protection ahubambo anunti na sabra no Jonah ebra no osuro nti no onyankopon ma adede nkruma no fifiri ye castor plant no afi ade ni sie ye no afei na atamfo no nyede ehu abrante no ne kira kwan ni nyina no for eye problem ni nyina de nkruma ye di tu ase de ama ye medwumafo aba hospital Dr. Time da so na me ne odi nkomoyi yare bia ho ni paduanom no efuru tiri so koso na sebra medwumafo aba hospital ma me no nka dua ba ko ho asem nka ho nimtree ye fra dua bia fra se nimtree de obi anim nimtree na nimtree no are ba ko no se ya ahwe se wo hu se cocoa parasite afifi wo nimtree so da na da bi entimi nsi the friends and crampan no entimi mfifi nimtree so da biara da esansa ahoɔden a encrampan wo no saa nimtree no wo saa ahoɔden no kyerɛ ne bebree entimi mfifiri wo so me ba to nimtree ye de ye nra hodo bebree virus infection ahodo nimtree ye de ye saa so na fatty liver obi se manya fatty liver mpacho metimafo ba hospital sebra na nimtree on fan sa yare onu ma ba akom yerum yansa ode ka ho na afo de treat de ma ho afa high cholesterol ba ni paduane mu no obi de se o mi de mintimu asi mpacho fa bra metimafo ba hospital Dr. Time da so wo se for sika ketwa bi bra eno nti na metimafo de elfo no oba no ka che so wo je o se so Ghana cedis a obetimi wa opa obetimi atua na sample kra open so obetua ne nkakra metimafo ba hospital nyame adom chana Dr. Tenase opoko asmayira kumasi ya bua kwa atwuma ago hypertension no onsa hypertension bo bi so a afo bo se wo wa now skin no ase wunya wonam na kekaw obo se wa na ho no bi okro dware kra na ho keka no hypertension timi de saade ne ba enu nte mu ahodo nso timi ade saade ne ba oba medimafo ehwehwemu woni paduanum ansa na Dr. de duro ade akaw na fever wo so ampacho nimtree we de fever na wo so amenka se de tutuana mo na bra ebia na wo de na enche ya nimtree no ba no abi no ano pacho no ano no odi bi timi so de bi adware eye medimafo aba hospital ana ye ni edi nkomo no na ade aba ko a make am asem say obroni say genital wat eka ya ma say ma genital wat impato say dua ye de ye eho aduro ana fe your genital herpes so genital herpes no so no pacho nimtree ade e de sana kura edifi ni paduanum bra medimafo aba hospital poko asemayira kumasi abuakwa atwuma go school junction na mamenka brode a ye friend say apem ho asem nkyerɛw brode a friend say apem mamenka ho asem nkyerɛw na onim say brode a friend say apem ni yine no aya aduro pa esa say brode a friend say apem no ni yine na esifom na utu ahom fitemfita no but utu san fitem enso wom na ye de sa nyarwa hodo bebre enunti me say unim akase minim onyankopon say ye ne de aba ne fa aba no fa say yare de friend say asoro ben obi ho a enum kan pacho de tell say sa brode a friend say apem ni hina no ye de tu ase deku bra medimafo aba hospital obi oda na dwo no onwa nkromo but bra medimafo aba hospital ye de brode a friend say apem hina no ye dro de amao enu ma akom yenu miansa doctor de ka ho no be tu ase de free ni paduanom medimafo aba hospital obi se ni tipai no pa wo de akina wonya no aduro bra medimafo aba hospital ni atian say severe headache asem na make but brode a friend say apem ni hina no ye aduro kese pa wonya enya no aduro fabra medimafo aba hospital doctor say fasika ketwa bi baje wa yaresa medimafo aba hospital ye fa bi simple leave na simple leave no pacho say liver say kidney afa internal organs ni nyina esa edema na say simple leave no pacho obi wa ne yam on say etambia ye ne o ma yesi ye ne o ma na ayefini yesi ni nyina kama pa ba simple leave no pacho onwa no saka ka o de atre saka kra bi na onu ma pacho eyi sade ni nyina afei o body ni mu nyina sane bibia fi bia won bia ye de free ni paduarum baro nim ti no wo se da bi okwa nko oba ma medimafo aba hospital poko asemayira nyame adom o chena doctor tena se opoko asemayira kumasi abu akwa atwuma go school junction but Friday premium service for number na free we MP we minister obetimi abana doctor show kama pa o se fasika kuma bi baje wa yarasa o medimafo aba hospital na dia tena sa oba medimafo a but o card 50 Ghana cedis pe on 31st of this month but achade na koso kumase abu akwa atwuma go 70 television 30 mobile phones afi amoni anwa de buburu ja tembia doctor oye nya first time ni akra de no 30th of April 30th April and Accra de because opoko asemayira enipa 70 ombedika ba no pane nya television sanso na nipa 30 ombeto aso no omo enya mobile phones afa omo maka ni na de emoni anwa Dr. Time da so onim se o time da so basmati rice no o chede ama obi emo a ye de ye anwa mo no anwa mo party no sa mo no eno mpacho doctor ode eche bra medima fo ba hospital kuma se abu akwa atwuma go school junction ena doctor etena se na afa ode bre ede aye adwuma ɛwɔ hɔ hyɛ no nsoma no sɛ nyame adoma April bosom yɛ yɛba bɛsi mu no Dr. Papa na yie no ɛba so Dr. Hwere ne papa nyame adoma yie no ɛba so April 9th and 10th of next month ya asɛm na meka bosom 9 ne ɛtɔ so nkron ne edu no ɛna yie no ɛba so ɛwɔ bonwure ɔman pɛ nti impo sɛ wɔn ma Dr. asɛ wɔn yare nyinaa kase yɛ kogya Dr. yi ampatɔ nkia nkɔ hɔ ɛno nti yɛse ɛyɛ wo nkogya ɛno nti obi ho kyere na ɛwɔ sɛ ɛkɔboa no ɛyɛ to obi a ɛwɔ sɛ ɛkogya no sansa adeɛ to obi ami anyo no ana eyi yɛse hwɛ hɔ ma me nti na atwe mienu na mo nsa atwe ya no mo na mienu hwɛ me so ma me nidi nti wo bɛhwɛ no so ama na didi nti na ya no mo mienu nam no ɛdeɛ tem ya na ɛkasa hwɛ hɔ ma me ba do sɛ hwɛ me so ma me ɛno nti ɛna atwe mienu nam medima for Aba hospital Dr. Tamra so papa yi na meka was on the 9th and 10th of April ɛna yi ne ba so but on be on the 8th anwumre na afi wake keep na to so na de akyi a ono makɔ akɔpɛ no krabe medima for Aba hospital nyarewa ne dɔsom na me akwanya wo hɔ a da me ba bia me no bɛka ate on sɛ wɔ ata yeto mabo asɛm na meka full protection for no ma hodo bebiri bare wonnim ti no tambia no wato ho agyeje mu saa ɛna wonam me se medima for Aba hospital onyame obo soro no obo asase na wode abibiduro tumi aso Dr. Tamda so nsa no o say ohia wo gidie obi o se na menyi nya ogidie na doctor hia ohia na montu obetu no aba esan se bra na odifo Isaiah pen so na ne manfo yare basa abobɔ bɔ ebi manya HIV ebi no manya yare entumi modin no safo no nyina kosugu odifo no so na odifo ka se montwen 2 Kings 20:7 tambia quotation meka anya de foforo na odifo no bɔwura akwai ma oba no adede nkuruma meka no okitabi afa nim tu no de biba ono de ataba afa krampon so no nia hodo bi te se krama kwoti afa tweta ɛne nia hodo nufotene hodo na ne nyina no de aba fie ɔde ba no obi biara yare ha no ɔno abi no mena patom nyina ho tɔwɔ mo enhyiranka nyame sɛ ɔka asasɛm no kyerɛ na yɛma no nsisi ɔse nimdia amemai ne enti ɔman no ɛtɔ ape ɛno nti sɛ nimdia ba ɔman no mu a mpakyɛw ɛwɔ sɛ wotumi ɛpɛbie na etumi boa wɔ ɛmetima fa Aba hospital nyame adom ɔkyena Dr. Tenase poko asɛm ayira Kumasi abua kwa atwuma go school junction Dr. Tamda so sɛ hernia sɛ fibroid sɛ diabetes say stroke but of fabra infertility be man oba muntumi won pacho oba muntumi won no aduro no enye dibi sabitua bio da bi enye sa na tem dimafo Aba hospital aduro no just one thought to pay we di gu anum na mena guna pacho bosume beso no na ba ne dam no waje wende so ntia bia oba me dimafo no na wo headache pa se wo nyaba bare nshran kanya mesa wo abrochire wo Ghana ba bia wo wiasa fara nyi wi Dr. Bao Germany Spain Italy and afemponsrom other countries ni Dr. Bao all the time when fair na ne din komo a yehu situation na doctor ebetimi aba no aba be show san so ba ho obetimi ahwe na dura wo so de ma no ade ama ho na nshran kanya mesa wo bedi adanse amobi na so aba esan sasa hwini ma ame no onu na di kan ba me dimafo ebra ma ame no no onu oyo bi otuburodo na yare kan no na o ma me dimafo ba me dimafo no afei no obi ade akire ba mu nyina obi aba so nyina anya adansedi ahodo se e kase ebo adansedi ahodo na ya wo hwe e o TVSYZ sa adansedi ahodo na ekoso ba e kase ebo anka bire ni ho ye ntimi mu nyina obi kura timi be kase a ma be kan adanse dada ba de momoe e bire no entia bara wasa wankasa wo ya adansedi de ma ofoforo ya adansedi fa ma ho be ma ho ma sem ofom sexual weakness ntimi mu adwuma wo 2 minutes wo 3 minutes obi kura ho mpa oba ne yin ho ana sabie waje mu be ma we mpa cho ye mfa ho kwa ako ye nka ho mfa nka ma ho woni ma na be kwa akoda eso nsa be ma de wo so timi gina banane be ma wo so timi ya adwuma na tim fifire afa tim fifire na ma me aka cho se me pa cho mi wura ena de fa me ho che me wate afa wo anya ntuma bo so dimirika odem mo na osan wo akonya na chi eno na kire se wo ye be ma na nya be ma wo de kakira bi na wada ya kakira bi na wada ya mpa cho bra me di mafo Aba hospital abibidro doctor de ma wo abibidro de ma no anya aphrodisia esan se we no the boy ye untini mu adwuma wo 60 years san se me na nya 90 years but o ware ne yira otoso ma akoma enan enti won suru ubetimi awo ubetimi aya adwuma be ma ya adwuma be ma so oba adwuma ma be ma nyina so mpacho se bo ahomache be 4:30 anasa 5 na se be ma na ntimi anyina pintin si ampacho wo how e wo se be ma na ntimi twa 7 e wo mpa no so enti wo ya be ma na edura ahomache na be ma na ntimi ntwa 7 ampacho so problem pa bra medima fo ba hospital na doctor enhwo abibidro na doctor be hwo be ma ni so mpacho bra medima fo ba hospital ni atia no say be ma so na de mpacho ba medima fo obi wo ho a ye fra bi bahaizi ajunso moja ene ye no obi nso ho no anya gonu wa ntwiti ni ye enam so ma be ma na fon medima fo na ade beba 5 days pe na doctor de ma wo ene ma akoma ko onum uyi so aduro na time e be duro a wo pe na wajai medima fo ba hospital se me kasa say o kasa o hwe a o be hwe asuofra ye di adwene de che be hwe asuofra but the make kire say medima fo ba hospital bibiduro na de adwuma me a me no tie wontumi ma na aka kire me kire on ma ba akomienu a ba cho obonsa na adwuna pampe na wo ba adwuma be ma me mo adabirijo da biara da medima fo 0244 774282 and 0500727215 medima fo Heba Hospital poko asoma ira kumasi ebu akwa atwuma agwa medase
very well medase doc for your time nyame aduma da sene ebesa asia on the same platform so ITVS was at na power 97.9 FM na ene budget ni de ensemu mu ahun se yanumfo no me ka yanumfo na chese MPP fu minority fu enkofu amoko opposition ko ya munyenya 3 months ma betra so 8 years de mo se de wose mu nyina mo ntimi anye ama Ghana fo apam ene mo so mo pese mo kasa ma Ghana fo entie mo tira me ka che sa MPP fu we usu no mo be nante dia ene kombe de wache opposition fu we o mo betra wache papa because enya de amoba ne mo abechene enya de se mo ba ne ene mo abechene o e de ka che say mo ma ne mo abechene NDC ko position 8 years MPP de menye sure kwa se Ghana for the mobile power bi mu de na do a kire Ghana fo abegu Ghana fo nyuma emirwafo ne kokorafo ya wo musika na kufa do de ne sa to so sa Ghana fo be kwa kofa kotobeku ba ban na kufa do MPP wi Ghana fo be sa do mobile power bi mo betin opposition wa che papa ti minority fo yi ene sa macro minority mo be kasa de bia anso nya de Ghana fo betie mu enei o mo press conference I would do any ade omo ye respond and ye no ye ntie minority leader ne response after the budget presentation by the finance minister honorable Afenyo Kensinti the honor so kind.
Yes, minority leader, Mr. Speaker, this afternoon we have been presented with part 2 of the lamentation series. The part 1, Mr. Speaker, the part 1 was Mahamanomics. The part 2 is forcenomics, and it's very clear, Mr. Speaker, that under the economy that they complain about, the growth was 5.7%, and under the research economy, the growth is rather going down. You are projecting a 4-point-something growth. That is what you are doing, Mr. Speaker. The economy that they complain about left us with 4 months of import cover, and they are projecting under research 3 months. Mr. Speaker, these are the very people who managed the economy up to 2016 and left us with some IPP debts. Today they are telling us that they are coming to renegotiate the very disaster they left us. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Minority Leader. Honorable Minority Leader. We are not debating today. We are giving an indication.
Honorable Minority Leader, please be guided by Order 91.
Mr. Speaker, exactly so. Very, very guided by that. Mr. Speaker, I'm in Order 91.
Your statement was that you are not debating today.
Oh, Mr. Speaker, we are not making comment on it. We are not going to make comment today. 91, Mr. Speaker, when he makes a statement, we are supposed to comment on it.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm saying that we are not going to engineer the comment today. Because, Mr. Speaker, they are not ready. We are ready, but we think they are not ready. So I'm only going to give an indication. Mr. Speaker, let the minority leader enjoy his bona fides for this minute. Just relax, Mr. Speaker.
I only want to draw your attention to the fact that you can only make comments.
Very well.
And the comments not more than 5 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, in commenting on this statement by the finance minister, it is clear to all of us in this chamber that today they decided to populate this chamber Mr. Speaker, they populated this chamber with their members only to come.
Honorable Minority Leader.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker.
The Minister for Finance did not talk about the population of the chamber. So that is not part of the statement of the minister. Please.
Mr. Speaker, I noticed that when the finance minister came to present his statement, for the first time after the inauguration, the swearing in, the majority side was heavily populated. Mr. Speaker, that notwithstanding, Mr. Speaker, we have witnessed what we can best describe as an Azar budget. Mr. Speaker, they are all much talked about for 24-hour economy. The president came here, they said it was not ready. The finance minister comes here, and again, the 24-hour economy policy is not included in his budget statement. Mr. Speaker, the youth of this country have been waiting for this 24-hour economy policy. The minister tells us the policy will be brought later. Hey, Ato, the policy will be brought later. Mr. Speaker, it is clear that all the jobs they promised the youth of this country was merely an Azar promise. Mr. Speaker, there is no inspiration from this budget. There is no hope in this budget. The repetition of the social intervention programs, Mr. Speaker, and then the minister complained that some contracts at the road sector had no commencement certificate. Go to the Chain Homes Road. There is a road construction on the Chain Homes. There is a new road being constructed to the Chain Homes with a new roundabout. There is no commencement. We did a search. There is no commencement. There is no PP approval. You are doing, Mr. Speaker, you have started construction only at the chamber.
Honorable Minority Leader. Honorable Minority Leader. Honorable Minority Leader. Please, comments. I've given you a privilege. Don't abuse it.
Mr. Speaker, I shall conclude my comments by saying that whereas the Minister of Finance told us that there will be heavy sanctions against all those who go contrary to the PFM Act, under his own administration, the Chain Homes Road is being constructed now. A new runabout is being constructed. Meanwhile, there is no commencement certificate. Meanwhile, there is no PP approval. Mr. Speaker, the sanctions must start with his own ministers. Mr. Speaker, we are ready for a comment. We know they are not ready, but if the minister is going to stay, Mr. Speaker, let us start the comment on this budget statement here and now, because this Azam budget, we cannot allow it to get onto the shelves for Ghanaians to think that there is any hope. Mr. Speaker, there is going to be comment to expose them.
Well, that was the Minority Leader, Honorable Afenyo Markins. On home making sense, be obe can be a nyans and be any. Well, let me welcome Honorable Timothy Atabwa, the former Member of Parliament for Busa North Sandema in the Upper East region of the Republic of Ghana, and the senior most communicator. Was starting at Papa lawyer a year Guru Brown so be joining very soon on the show. He's a senior lecturer at Accra Technical University and he's a lawyer, a legal practitioner. Mobati Onosonka on the show. Mama Honorable Timothy Akwaba. I think your name is Shana. I'm saying no, yes,
I've come here more than 3-4 times.
On the show?
Yes, but I think I met you.
Yeah, okay.
Once.
Okay.
But it's
good. Very well.
And I also wish you
you make your appointment.
And I said, appointment, I'm our fine said, and to win that, oh dear, I came and I'm not started. You might
travel appointment.
That be a question.
Radio
goal. Up to Muntie. Yeah, they senior communication. Okay, make pension. They are getting.
Guys, when you know what you are, man, honorable.
What they senior say about 4 years. Now, senior in terms of communication is your. Because Muntino, how many Momoko prison by?
Said that was in 2016.
That was in 2016.
Semi when I Jamie, yes, tablet, me bag,
yes,
bag, and
that she now sat and then, but Satan, so many joke. I was a we are now called, is it a Chiduka?
Any aquarium,
now for me call gold. Yes, idea. But then, Janamin chair, I shall phone a tear for you. I think today is a very fantastic day. I idea Yamedia chair. We thank God for His mercy center. For our listeners, I am a former dial and to
power.
It's by the Almighty God. You know, that's where my faith is. And you need to have faith in this our political. In fact, I have a catch up microphone and say, Ankayendi elections now. Mugabe, do you know where you and I would have been? Yamponi election, we are so mild on them. We haven't done anything to them. I bring them, they are still talking. Can you imagine what they would have done to you? They are still talking. But all in all is because we have a president akuma pamagana for no matter bonia or the bay ni bia no the eye on farm. He always gives everything to God, and we thank God for such mercies. And we are also grateful to our MPs and to our Minister for Finance, especially our present a very fantastic budget. But for now, I think that I was in Parliament. I call Joy TV from one bar. Parliament and every tea and I drew hand. You know, I think it's good time for all Ghanaians. It's a budget that is for all the youth in this country. A budget that is for the young ladies, our daughters and our sisters who will be given free pad. It's a budget that is for assemblymen.
Those in school.
A budget a fund solution.
Assembly members.
HSS.
Assembly members. Pause.
Yeah, pause one.
A very good
yes
initiative.
Yes, because Mugabe, because it is a good initiative because
Obenya
12,000 Ghana cedis.
Wow.
For 4 years, no? For the first time I about constitutional dispensation with the 1992 constitution
under the Fourth Republic,
decentralized and under the Fourth Republic. This is the first time they've almost 100 million Ghana cedis at their chair assemblyman to distribute across the country for the next 1 year. And if an assemblyman is taking 1,000 Ghana, at the end of the year, he has 12,000. And when you say, Jumana said, there are allowances. You can even use that to borrow, to go to a bank.
Yeah.
It can serve as
at the end of the month.
At the end of the month. Into more villages, especially about it is good.
My brother, Mugabe Maase.
Yes. Into Honma Chiano.
Over their life.
Into all the assemblymen, they are no more working free. They will be taking some allowances
under NDC,
under John Dramani Mama. It's fantastic. Whether you are an NPP assemblyman, it's so both same job. Yes, and the important thing is that look, taxes no. Says here be taxes here.
E-levy,
taxes on betting you
I know the former finance minister said there wasn't anything like betting tax.
What was that? You see, Mohammed Anta should be careful. He used to be careful because he used to be a gentleman. And I'm so surprised about Mohammed Anta. He's my schoolmate.
Let's listen to him once again. Now you welcome lawyer Uwe Brown live on TVS was it and also on Power 97.9 FM. This is your number one political talk show, Inside Politics. You hear former finance minister and some kafa a betting tax.
Ladies and gentlemen, betting tax that they said they have abolished. We never collected betting tax. We never implement the betting tax. So to come and tell Ghanaians that you have abolished something that was not implemented is to deceive the people of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, betting tax that they said they have abolished. We never collected betting tax. We never implement the betting tax. So to come and tell Ghanaians that you have abolished something that was not implemented is to deceive the people of Ghana.
Honorable Tim, why fasting?
We mean your so he has to take time. This is the fasting. It's a Ramadan period. In fact, why not the buyer? Why not tax? Why would you bring a tax and you will not collect? What was the intention of the tax buyer? And yet, in the economy, see, abolish tax. No, they told us we're not going to be able to abolish them because it's bringing income. And some of the argument Mugabe they use at the time, they say, ye person Korane ye at the bonnet because we're urging them to do betting. And yes, sir. And then we're encouraging them, and they were bringing the betting tax to discourage them. And that was the meaning of the tax. Is that not what they said? And a Bomianka Sasukas or bar tax no better. Or by abolish it. Is that not what Bomia said? So what tax is Mohammed Anta talking about? Are we a finance minister? The same Mohammed Anta was on the social media. No, say NDC has borrowed more than 59 billion since we came to power. Mohammed Anta has forgotten that the 59 billion borrowing, yet they retired the treasury bills. So a finance minister should know better. You should know better than me or a lawyer. Maybe you're a lawyer better. I'm not an economist. I should know that. So G loan. That's why me take over. I have to borrow to retire that. The finance minister should know that. And middle after the budget, first of all, it was the news conference was completely irrelevant. It was not a news conference that should be done immediately because the budget is all against them. allocations are here. I'm a various institutions will come into the detail. But for me, Mohammed Anta should apologize to the people of this country. If you brought the tax, that's went to Nigeria. It is not our problem. You brought it, and you needed more money. I didn't know the tax in buy. Only tax in buy because up to some time Ghana was bankrupt. Not Ghana, Ghana bankrupt. The Bank of Ghana had gone bankrupt. We could not borrow from any international development partners. So we were banned. In fact, we were banned from the international market. So all these taxes, the betting taxes, the e-levy, the emissions tax, was brought to bring in more income. Dear Namakachi asked at that time that the total revenue that government was looking for from the 2023 budget, was 100 billion. And on some day, on the 11 bar, 11 be in between 6 and 7 billion. Yes, I know. But the total expenditure was 136 billion, giving a deficit of 30 billion. And I catch almost at the time that the e-levy could not cover the deficit. So it was not true that you were using e-levy, betting taxes, emission taxes, and then a tax to be able to pay off what your deficits. So there's nothing that they did. In fact, at the time, betting tax, e-levy, what are we going to do? Ghanaians will experience worse times if NDC scrap all the taxes as promised in their manifesto. And just and then look at that's Kasapa online.
And they're coming from Michael. Watch the BFI MP.
Yes, but we even know this things. You know, we preach them in our manifesto, and we talked about them when we're doing our campaign.
So what was manifesto promise?
Well, yes, and we have fulfilled all the things. Into the Mohammed Anta, woman near bring. She na call parliament a go tier budget. Afenya mark na kasa big no into me kasa. Because of what we have allocated to the various institutions. And I'm not going to waste time. I'm going to let Ghanaians know. Mugabe Shesasike where Ghana for. Just look at this allocation. Number one, government. Then this budget on the coin, we've allocated 13.85 billion for the big push. Yeah, that's the first year. So this big push will include the construction of monumental projects, including those in Kumasi and so on, and all the places. Number two, 499.8, that is 500 million allocated for the no academic fees. Now, it's the first year university students are not going to pay. So, this is tech. He's in tech. So we are going to benefit. We are going to get the payback. 292.4 million allocation for the distribution of free sanitary pads. Free sanitary pads. You can't get ready. You be distributed free to girls in primary school and secondary school. We are going to fulfill that, and we have done it. 242.5 million allocation to support the victims of the Akusombo Dam now. 200 million allocation to support victims of the tidal waste disaster in Ketu South, the recent one. So we've allocated this money, 3.5 billion allocation for the free education. Once a free education will be but the implementation and then getting the source of funding was an issue. When we tried Trump at the time, so we used about 10 billion for it, and they had not got any source of funding. And now, they told us that the total number of students who are free education is 5.7. It was 3.2. But it was 3.2. So, there's a dedicated fund. Ask her with via fund Sanka every year. Penny Triama. The school, the authorities, and so on. It is 3.5 billion allocation for free SSH. So I'm say we trim. Yes, I'm catch there. I'm say we trim. Well, yeah, can't review that. Yes. Now we have given a dedicated source of funding for it.
The implementation by without
without this thing, we told them. Yes. Mugabe, look at 564 million allocation for comprehensive provision of free curriculum-based textbooks. Details in our textbooks say 1.7 billion allocation to school feeding. School feeding, more 1.7 billion. 147 million allocation for capitation grant. And when a various school, the JSS and then the primary school, I had my head teachers and say, we are also going to pay for the teacher training allowances.
Nursing training.
And the nursing training. I wouldn't say they will not be areas. Teachers and nurses should listen to me. Now you are going to be taking your allowances at the end of each month. Say there's no more going to be accumulation and arrears. That's the difference here. She said at the end of the month, so much to say they are working. So there won't be arrears. There won't be arrears. Under Joma, there won't be arrears for teacher and nursing trainer. So at the end of the month, their money to be ready. This government is not prepared to accumulate arrears. Wow. We are not. And I want him. Share the district assemblies and all the assemblymen in Ghana. Whether you are an MPP assemblyman, XYZ assemblyman, once you are an assemblyman, at the end of the month, you are taking no less than 1,000 Ghana cedis as allowance for yourself. The beer will continue to teach and put. Now you are assemblyman, you collect in addition. Hey. When we say we are doctor and put, now you are assemblyman, you collect in addition. Wow. Even if you are as rich as Bill Gates in power, whether the man or the better they are awesome. But these allowances are dedicated for hard-working assemblymen. At the end of the year, assemblyman be about 12,000 Ghana cedis. Yes. Mama Betuanaka. You get it. So these are the new policies, and we are not going to waste time and discuss. In fact, our communication now, till the end of the month, we will sing these things to the head of our people, and we will show them. The 761 billion canon they are talking. We are setting aside what we call the sinking fund. $64,000. At the Jama, we say $360 million. You see, the sinking fund is $64,000. But the minister assured the people of this country that we will fix it and we will do it. And I trust him and I John Dramani, because I didn't a bit we'll be able to do it because we are cutting down on every useless expenditure. To say cathedral, say cathedral, I beg you say it's Ascano. Never be it is kind of put into a development project. Ministers be brave. Even the ministers now are cutting. Not the minister, the total minister were taking 84 billion. What are they? So can you imagine the billions the government has saved by going with 16 ministers? Staffers, the president Akachi said staffers there. They're under the MPP era, it was 368 or over 360 staffers. One call half. So we are saving so much money. Expenditure, our culture phenomenon, expenditure a year free won't. It is strictly for the people of this country. Because we can no more come and deceive the people. A banner on the ball, Kumani Dianabe West. We are not going to allow Kumani Dianabe to here. So we will take the lead and do it. So do it well. And do it so well. So for me, the people of Ghana should have hope that inflation is targeted to come down at the end of the year up to 11%. So it will pushing downward. It means that it will stabilize the prices of food items in a better form. The dollar will stabilize. The goal for oil too is coming to back our reserves. Yes, and I sitting day into gold board now. We are establishing under Same Jemfini and Crawford, and the board is going to ensure that we now put more than $1 billion in our account. So the 4 years we are going to have more than $4 billion and maybe strengthen the city. Remember city fluctuations in so that this budget, like I'm concluding, a budget is for the Abusokai spare parts dealers. It's for Guta people. It's for assemblymen. It's for Makwala women. Beautiful, my brother. It's for my mother and my sister who sells in the Sandema market.
For the school children.
For the school children.
The girl child.
And now I'm share specs in about bomb tomato 9 specs. So it's a budget for all of us and for people of this country to enjoy, because they are working for this country.
That is correct.
And it's also a budget, my brother, for the farmers,
Yes. Yeah.
for the business community. It's a budget that has come to change our lives. 360 degrees round. We say next time, but they won't show way.
Yeah, this is very expensive one.
But say you tax in every. Until you say, "Obesha diamond, there no."
Just have one now.
So for me, I think this is the budget we've all been waiting for, especially in crisis like this. This is you understand? Especially in crisis like this, is the type of budget. And yeah, say can say be betting tax here.
The betting tax.
No more illiterate in this country. I don't know, sir.
It was a Timothy Sukumbi.
You know what, my brother?
I don't even know how it works.
Brother, what you don't know is that the woman sitting in the market at what tongue they know. There's no more illiteracy in Ghana. I'm telling you, before election, I told you I went to the textbook market and make could dig kakra. Woman there me to tomato no beside me say, na kana oma botton. Listen to the woman. Oh. Kana oma botton say John Draman mo bet my and say oba resolve the issue. I would have taken the woman for granted. So woman you turn tomato nick ka ho John dey no nim. But that was what the woman asked me. There's one other woman I may call Joya. Okita small kiosk. One day when I make us an of frame and I'm telling say, I want to have Mugabe program. I say I was what team me pa. Now anytime I go to this station, he will twin there. Okay, woman, he knows more than all of us sitting here. The woman selling at that kiosk. He follows your program for 1, 2, 3. No, programs are not a tuner corner. The woman talks sense. So don't underestimate or underrate any Ghanaian.
Madam Honorable Timothy Atabuade Winterim, former MP for Busa North, Sandema in the Upper East region. Live on TV as YZ and also on Power 97.9 FM. My call lawyer Owe Brown, so now you on submission. Lawyer, more press conference here. A year MPP for a year, former finance minister Sema Okano. I'm saying you to now omo chat. Man betting on both for ye papa say Obaka say na bibia say no was a man for no complaining say udi ani at it. So why is he saying say now there wasn't anything like a year betting tax? You submission.
Yes, I actually
Very.
It's after election now
and because of the vetting
is
very well.
Mugabe chia etie for ni ahwefo.
It's all looking good.
You don't see. I don't use Sakrayava. Freedom. I mean, it's easy. Muga, and let before I make a sano. Mami, so let me tout my credentials a little.
Fantastic.
Muga, I have a degree in economics. I have a degree in sociology.
What's economics? I see.
It is here. I have a degree in law, LLB. I have 2 master's degrees. I have a master's MBA. Okay, and I have MPhil leadership. And in the course of parliament, you know, I think sometimes or kasa. So you see, only the beer now or kasa you did. Don't explain. Once I confused the sense, who difference between comment and debate, and the speaker has to be guiding him. And you see, he tries to be smart. And he's caught up, and then he tries to use a. But some of us are not dumb.
You know.
Muga, and then Baba Hero. Wow, we want since NDC we need power parliament. Yes, I say any major event a basic of parliament, yeah, MPP issue a press conference. And you know, my own say press conference. It has become one of the propaganda tools for MPP.
Parliament, there's central condition.
Yes.
No, sweating
because it's for.
Tell Honorable Timothy that Sandema people are not part of allocation. This is coming from former Minister of Agri, Honorable Limuna Miniru.
When their kings are talking, slaves should keep quiet.
Oh, so you mean say, oh, you're a slave?
He's
right?
my slave.
Honorable.
Oh, empty. Honorable Amin Anton. Whoa, share. You do in Pempensua. Obika Semna Adenia come and say that, oh, it is good, but maybe on Komuya Nisea 8 years. What have they? Look, 5 nuisance taxes today have been abolished. 10% withholding tax on lottery, yakim. 1% electronic levy. Now when you say levy, sometimes begin now you say 1%. Yet it is
50 cities, 50 persons upon better.
Yeah, but emission levy, ye fi ho. VAT on motor insurance. Insurance I won't quote VAT also. Ye fi ho. 1.5% withholding tax on unprocessed gold mining by small scale miners. Ye fi ho. Now, upon markets can be and I want to explain it now. Ghanaians NTS here. Or see, on the time 2014, 2024, now the economy was growing by about 5.something%. And I projected 4% until they were doing better. There's no logic in that. Moga, it is like, oh, you have made somebody sick. What should that? I made a drum or you are beating the person to pop, the person is dying. Then you start giving the person medicine.
So Jackson.
You start giving the person medicine and the person is recuperating, then you start praising yourself. Akufo-Addo and his cohorts. Omuma economy eko comatose. Eko kumemu. Now they have started giving medicine to the economy. Ako kumemu, and they are praising themselves. It is growing by 6%. And so we should praise them. Meanwhile, the economy was growing better. And a mumu they are called negative. And they are the negative, mumu they are not called negative. As I say, more body, and then now by resuscitate, you are praising yourself. Why take it to the negative in the first place? So it's like a sick person who you are made somebody sick, and now you are giving medicine to the person to recuperate. Then you are praising yourself who have made the person sick and now healing the person. It doesn't make sense at all. But we have taken a sick person you have made, and we are saying that we will heal the person. After healing, we will now make the person get more strength. And no one can. It is 4% every time they are trying to compare some growth. It doesn't make sense. Number 2, you see, Muga, sometimes my minister question, Russia-Ukraine one says still ever. Have you ever heard of NBC government functionary, President Mahama, and a finance minister, one mention Russia-Ukraine war in the budget? He has never mentioned anything like that. Also, I see lamentation. Doesn't know what lamentation is. You can't come with the one. Baby, some let me see now. I say that you too egu. Tada West, Yanka Wasam. Meanwhile, that is what a very devastating, affecting your country directly. Look, Muga, I want to clap for JM for thinking about Ketu South people. Look, Tada West, what is happening there is not easy. And Akufo-Addo sat down. One point in time last year, that was really bad. It took to be affected to go and give what 300,000 Ghana cedis to support each intervention. Black anyway. Ibrahim Mahama. Namaba. And today in the budget, that was really by just about last week. After the budget might have been prepared one way or the other. President Mahama Atufos said they should include the tidal wage problem in the budget, and he has done it. This means that the government is thinking about the people. Akufo-Addo echo a voter region echo catch minkro for them say voter spillage na affect omo anto aba manente no ongi omo. But John Dramani Mahama knowing very well says those for the voter are also Ghanaians, and they deserve to be treated better, have included what money. His government has included what money to support them to make sure say they deal with the issue. And I want to applaud Atufos and the president that they have thought about all these issues. Shemuga, I want to tell you something. My minister question.
say you are thinking about Ghanaians, making the lives of Ghanaians better, and then the economy will grow at 4%, and then you make Ghanaians go through excruciating hardship. Ghanaians are suffering, nothing is moving on, and you are experiencing 6% growth. Which of this is better? Ghanaians are better, feeling better. You are making, and not very well said, to make Ghanaians better, it will government must sacrifice more. To make Ghanaians feel better, government must allocate more money to support them. And when that is happening, you should expect, say, growth may not be as what we want, because a lot of money must go into what supporting what the decay in the system. And then people like Aponyemakin and Kono, I want us to applaud them with this WAP economic logic. No wonder, I don't blame them, because they are former president and then Akufo-Addo say on your economics. Oh, Legon on your third class. Third class. But I see those the third class in economics are easy. You should have used it.
He had the books. He just Akufo-Addo is just a bad student.
No, but that is what I'm trying to say.
Just a bad student because yes, or a bad student because a lawyer. So we are public domain.
Yes, on your third class.
Unlike
former Ghana
Gabi Kasa no more papa no nyansa nti no do mo ko school no. So if your father at the 10th century got third class, it means particularly a bad student.
He's not a bad student.
You are not a brilliant.
Yeah, we know.
All the books. Imagine someone at the time coming from Sanoma who has never seen a paper before, and yet he didn't get third class. That's all wrong. No books na e mo not be tell. And I go from there be try me
try say
if you could be
on ponya be honorable na me try say yeah I've got it na me try say who got that class that class look at you what meet the economics class then what banana economy what who dey win economics who dia ba o me no know where dey or economic whiskey what go find number send about me so onuko wa bonche the master Akufo-Addo. They could not see they were still chasing the city and they couldn't deal with the city. Yaba na say the nyama 2 year. Look, we have talked about what tidal waste no need budget for.
Someone is asking a very good question here that need to be looked at. They should prove that they were not deducting this betting tax. Does it mean the betting companies cheated us?
So the question
the old ones.
This is a bunch of liars.
So we did that.
Adam. So if they were not deducting, I want to ask Honorable Adam. If you were not deducting betting tax, what were the where were the monies, the deductions? Where were they going?
Less withholding tax, 10% on gross winning. Tinipaninya 9,900. They deducted 910. Look at it with
the evidence.
So these are the evidence. So
no. Maybe this giving us a revelation. Mugabe no take it. The man must be speaking the truth. Maybe they were deducting, but the money was going to Haptel or something. Who say Haptel? You see, Baumia company there. Baumia account bimu. Kofueta account bimu. No, I was saying you're finding out. Mugabe, we need to find out. The minister says that they were not deducting. So the deductions where the money is going, we need to find out.
This was the spokesperson of Baumia, a friend is yes. They are miracle.
Also no betting tax.
No betting tax. I said Baumia
t-shirt. Also no betting tax. So if there was nothing, why abolish something that was not existed?
There when you were talking about abolish.
Understand?
I get to the point. Yeah. So my question is, when we said we're going to abolish betting tax, and you knew there was no betting tax, why didn't you raise that issue? Say she knew why from the betting tax and this is abolishing and throw Yabane are tried anymore. You are not saying that there was nothing like that. Hey, Adams.
The people know. He who feels it knows.
Oh my God.
He who feels it knows.
No, what kind of leaders do we have?
Yeah.
Leaders who are not trustworthy. Leaders who lie. No, Muga.
You continue to lie.
No, I'm scandalized.
They have taken Ghanaians for granted.
In the month of Ramadan, in the month of what? Ramadan. in the month of Ramadan, a whole Muslim
are fasting for 30
days. It's lying to Ghanaians.
It's serious.
May Allah have mercy upon you.
Amen.
Hey,
very serious.
Look at, no, you see the fact of the matter is that
somehow can be near my soul.
I was say funny. So I want to suggest to NIB, National Investigation Bureau, National Security.
No more.
Mr. Amin Adam, the former finance minister of the Republic of Ghana, is claiming that they were not deducting betting tax. Now we have evidence to show that betting tax was being deducted from people's winnings.
Yes.
We want to know which people were making the deductions and where those monies were going. Is it the case that the money was going to some private accounts or some big men in the MPP?
Forensic audit.
There must be a forensic audit to unravel that mystery.
Yeah.
Because it is troubling.
Very serious.
Very, very serious.
And look at the amount involved. Honorable Sinipano with the
9,900. Deducted 900%.
It should have been 900.
The money involved.
Yeah.
Almost 1,000 Ghana.
Yes.
Almost 1,000. Tomo deducted 900.
Imagine say nipa be 1 million.
And
on daily basis.
Yes.
What I say? Now once NDC you promise 3 taxes I if you and 4 tax B, C, betting, emissions levy, COVID and e-levy. Now the tax needs 5 crown a year and more are going to go
because of the IMF.
And nothing now but I know say the
right time.
What I say? Mugabe
Tobo to Babak.
Yes, Tobo. I know that say he's a
for Niger for you mobile.
Yes. Yeah, he say and for me no.
Technology no so very good. And yeah, this will be waiting. I just can't go to bottom.
Maybe. And we Ghanaians were even angry with the scrapping of the toll booth and then bringing in the 11.
Mokwata at that time.
Sir, Mokwata say you probably say you see one he didn't use the appropriate procedure to grant it costing financial loss to the state. Some upon I say you should and one thing I was so happy about is say Atufos said all right no we are going to make sure all monies that are looted by agencies, individuals, we are going to make sure that we retrieve all those monies. Do you know why NPP or money every sano? Because looking at how we are going to generate our money, they were thinking, say, taxes are if you want to, and Kofu, Omanya Scano, at the Etiam Puntu Juma, yes, Babe, on where if you say, now, Omusika, the money's about over 40%. Of government budget was going to some private pockets. Scanning the places are
no moody
scan.
I sure mo pass
budget. I said there should be auditing about the betting tax. A Muslim lie in the month of Ramadan. Very serious. Sabigedo Western of regional chairman of the NDC also issue no enjoy show ni yepa Mr. Bigedu me say on madam me abusanfo nyina bibia boko continue to enjoy the show dollar man so no so we enjoy show no we say we start cheche niema e de my union ma muslimi for mo ye Ramadan no dollar man koswa na koso na boy adwuma no sa governor of Father Ghana Alhaji Kadel aye niema ni biem to shake Yaya Amin new residence utuma ko donate nema bibiri de amawo for a year
Ramadan season
governor of the Father of West Africa Alhaji Kader Tanko thank you very much. They should prove that they were not deducting this betting tax. It could also be that they opened a secret account that they collected all into, so the money didn't go into the state account.
And we have to find American. say a whole former minister sub press conference and Mugabe was saying you
because maybe I didn't need deep.
Very deep. Mugabe is not just deep, it's very deep. Exactly.
Or generated from this
now they were not collecting now. We have to
pay tax and who the tax in the
yeah.
But if you live in the UK or America, no one say with your tax, no one say tax, no. You'd be a railway lands, you'd be a good healthcare.
Fish farming. Some are the same to say, Ebia dear Muhammad Antanu can and no can investigate. Yes, you can
Sas can you say ye wini power nka akọ obi private pocket
PDS
SML so
yeah
we have to bet in tax. This one should be betting tax investigation.
2 billion years from commercial bank.
And you say they didn't know what the money was transferred to. 52 billion Ghana cedis.
So much 15 billion Ghana cedis as revenue. But they ended up paying
Amin has presented himself to NPP as another northerner to be used. Funny, Another northerner. So after Bawumiano, I mean, under an economist, we are.
I don't even see it like that. You shall be addressed by the way you dress.
What said about the withholding tax, that might be true. The issue needs to be investigated, and we know where that money is. Because we have shown with evidence.
The evidence is
so there. Where is it?
Where are the money? So the minister is the one talking.
Maybe I mean,
any party communicator bill.
Yes.
And you say, this is a former finance minister, cabinet minister.
You are presenting in the Samu Bawu.
No, it is Samu. And it's Sababa. I also say him. Look, Mrs. Sir. Betting tax
interest
because a former finance minister, a cabinet minister of that matter, a minister who was appointed as Nana Akufo-Addo, who took over for that person to take over from Nana Akufo-Addo's cousin. They trusted him. He was somebody so dear to them.
Is the one talking?
Said that they never collected that amount of money.
So there wasn't anything like that.
Yes, but there were deductions. So let's find out.
Where did the money go?
Gaming Commission. They should tell us.
A lot of message about that.
Yeah.
Lottery. They should tell us where the monies went to.
Yes.
NIB must rise up. National security should get up. Minister of Interior is now also what? They assigned another responsibility as what? National security. Honorable Muntaka, you people should rise up. We need to investigate this. More so when the minister was, the former minister was saying this in the month of Ramadan, he being a Muslim, having 30 days fasting, where we believe, say, whatever he was saying was the truth. We do not need to assembly critical. And so we need to what? Follow this matter at this critical point. And Mugabe, see, one very
people are calling for replay of the.
Yes, they should replay it.
Good work done, Auntie Mary Asanteman NDC Woman Hill on also of her life of attack and near Bushani Nano. Yadamo as Honorable Lord Bram so her life from a Parliament House. DSP Safasata Mijiri say now the way ACP Maminto Rankasun Kunyasem also enjoy show. Nemo me a car say Duma. This coming Saturday, your papa a COP away in charge of administration at the director admin. Edema Ghana Police Service. The worker for Atwana Nanum Ewan said, Wanyame Yaduma coming Saturday ya or more a penocrabre into Adofo more Ghana Police Service meaning a Kujamia Papa COP a year a winning in charge of admin Edema Ghana a year police service. And he puts you from penny for more life Namuti Nano, a year papano, Yankano, a Yampai, when the Papa ye COP a winning. Very humble man, Yakopon and Shenny na emmanso ama me agya na kire nso no nyame kopon enkoso ana onkro mo ntie ma ho yeshede kese yakọ kese pa COP awoni in charge of admin Ghana Police Service na eno nso eho no
see this budget is called the budget of life.
Fantastic. We have something to read.
Yeah, we have allocated 51.3 million to the Women's Development Bank. 51.3 million. It will start very soon. Then the District Assembly Common Fund is 7.51 billion allocation. Then the National Health Insurance is 9.93 billion.
Very well.
Correct. Every sector has got to Mugabe.
But doable.
Mugabe is within the budget.
These are something that if the budget, if the economy had not collapsed to this extent, we would have done much more.
Because I see MPP for no more teenager, no more show. We should
have
done this.
Very well.
Young police officer bo head friend for saying no was so chapa.
Okay.
Na me nim no me no ko raka to bi address me hwa no yi ni sika no otua no me say na oni mo. No say we program. Na me na.
The full address the cost.
Yes, I
know you must. Because I know so no for full and yes. So be immigration officer.
We are not talking
about cars here. Now what are we talking about? The fuel alone, will be it.
No, about V8 and stuff. My car enjoy is throttle. Sit to the
but you have decided to use the throttle. Because you have V8.
I have V8. Cheers, I'm going to for me,
you have to do
Metro Maase very good. I know we are going to
Grant also a short
STC things are coming.
Say video no amount for call say yen sign and show finance minister ni amount for so 8 year menya say national security secretariat or blue gate bia be fa bia wo bia tuma obia 8 year the national security coordinator minua panyi Alhaji Osman me say Ramadan money e wono monko so e mo adwuma fa mo excellency John Dramani Mahama so na minua touch port wo mo adwuma yie Mayanga ene minua Sariki Yakomo mo adwuma kichake senso nkoma Sariki Awala ene mpenifo a motie adwumadie ni nyina ye move on afi yentie sa video ni bi.
Ladies and gentlemen, betting tax that they said they have abolished. We never collected betting tax. We never implement the betting tax. So to come and tell Ghanaians that you have abolished something that was not implemented is to deceive the people of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, betting tax that they said they have abolished. We never collected betting tax. We never implement the betting tax. So to come and tell Ghanaians that you have abolished something that was not implemented is to deceive the people of Ghana.
And I know the finance minister, the competent finance minister that we have today, you know, and they will take this matter up. Say amount for to scan here, who may be a scanner, echo idea. Taxpayers' money, you know. What's it who say value for money? Who this can hear them? We so enjoy Inside Politics live on TV, SYZ, and also on Power 97.9 FM. All our social media platforms, you know, obey to me, or baby, no so to me. I ever like I say, my and a boy for a year and enough a year communication. Team nyina chairman sanso na afo anonof organizer also en cha kese enkomo ya ba sala kese fama Victory Garlic Mesa so Victory Garlic Mesa ne se wunya bi na se oboba etumi bo ye papa ema moja timidi ni peduan mu frusa ne kozibo ne beka se blood circulation obi a wontumi ni di wonu mato bo ne beka se loss of appetite wunya Victory Garlic Mesa ne bi na oboba etumi bo ye papa ema ne bi ho mo tamo beso so mo benyo mo menses a no ma ya se bo mo dwe wunya Victory Garlic Mesa ni bi na oboba o menses no tam no so ebeba boko ya ho so ebetimi atowa obi emfa wo encheke ni date na chese eno no efi Victory na so ye ho eno no obi a wonsa ye titiriti una ye titiri sa na se na cheme se ni pedua no moja ntimi ni pedua no ma frusa ni ye a blood circulation no ntimi nya adwuma ye a eno na ma wo nya sa atenka no timi ka chiro se pe Victory Garlic Mesa ni bi na bobo ne betumi abo ye sa bo boost immune system no emeni pedua no ejina ne na so brane ye fa se da emma Victory Garlic Mesa Dr. Amuakon pharmacy shop herbal shop bia obiwuram Kings Walk ene okansi drugling ho we Kings Walk dudu bia pe bia no se betumi aka Dr. Amuakon 0201 293280 0201 293280 and 0242 545633 0242 545633 nso obetimi eneno adi nkomo ama bibia nso etimi akonkan Amuzu Herbal Clinic edi Amuzu garlic bitters and also edita echi a eboa eye dwumedi no pibi na bobo ne betumi aboa we papa ama wagina onaso yefa aseda ema Amuzu Power Specialist Herbal Hospital omuna free hepatitis A B C D ana yi ni benetete wo eye fatty liver na say sciatica eye prostate na tete wo menu amema no wonya bia asoye wo de woni kirewa ni nyina no obeboa wo ama ne makoyi no mpeni be na techima broken bones ni nyina no ulcer na compo esi minim na fibroid de ma no obe ni nyina fiwa ma ho ato wo hwe Power Specialist Herbal Hospital a obi hu e kira kwan Kumase Fiyase Lake Bosontwe eye Putuja eye Kwantempon no so ye ne Jasbo filling station no na edi enhwe ni mu nkran so ye kwa Benya Pokwase CP Kwantempon no so na Takra de Wanaje Estate ye Benyanaje MA Primary School no Fenani entwetwe nkomo Power Specialist Herbal Hospital on 0244 544422 0244 544422 S natural mineral water nso papa kroja Ghana fo nyina agi atum was simply natural pensuni bi na bobo se de bibitumi aboa eye wedding engagement bi a wo bia no pe sai nso bi na fa save hoho me come show bia nationwide obi wiem no obenya bia yeden ato na bibia nso atimi akonkan kama ede amount wo pedudu atu a ene efre Clifford Money Penifo a omiye in charge o 0596273546 0596273546 ofra S natural mineral water no onsa betumi akabe oba Eswazi eye Broadcasting Limited hanso a wo eye osu 37 na BBC Street a obi hu Mr Robert the Bugnatus Robert bido bi apebia no onsa betumi aka Medimoses Clinic and Herbal Center omuna free Medimoses Clinic and Herbal Center omuna kofa medical capsule said ya bedwaso wunya bi na wonuma eboa ye papa ama nipadua no muja no etimi dimu afrisan ye papa medical capsules is the only garlic capsules Ghana for nyina agya tum ya Food and Drugs Authority wo mu de mo stamp na boso se kanyan pibinenom obi a wontumi ni di wenum ato obi a immune system no ewo form ebeboa boost immune system no ama bibia konkan edi ama wo ye be ma prostate netity wo sexual weakness male and female infertility hypertension diabetes sciatica typhoid fever malaria stroke and dental problems biano fakoda Medimoses Clinic and Herbal Center we chira kwa wa dental barrier ye ni police station no and the hwe ni mu ewo AESL building no inside the Ghana Highways Authority yard ewo Accra Ministries eje kojo ye ni school for the deaf and the hwe ni mu kuma sa ni makoko bensu yetutua ho fe na woni ye doctor Medimoses antwetwe nkomo on 0244 068447 0244 068447 wo fra Medimoses obajoso Safari Valley Eco Resort omuna free safari asoyo eba wildlife experience ya womoye number 1 obi ajo matum wudu asoyo wa swimming pool ni family na mokwa mubedu wana mu swimming pool bibia ne nkoda ne nyina aye ready amamo obitimi enjoy weekend ewo ho ene abusuya ne nyina wanya wo baby a wo don pa wo feeling yi papa ya che so pesa wo ye ne ho ade no na wo de wani a kire ho eye birthday celebration na mo de wani a kire ho mo be filia ene wo dware no na jamusu ho na wapomuden no ni nyina ekuye edemawo enuane papa nso ewaso ho local and continental dishes ni nyina obenya bi wa Safari Valley Eco Resort wodi wani kire ho a ewo dawo in the Eastern Region Okre constituency wani beji ye papa hotel rooms nso ni bibia kama ya wura ho a ene wo mo to gas wo mo de wo beko beni nam forest mu na hwe eye zebra no ene antelopes ne muwei wudu a wani beje papa jata sebo no so obefre na wabuki reservation na bibia dam edi amount call them on 0596914394 0596914394 wo fresh Safari Valley Eco Resort omo bejo so dewo ewo Okre constituency in the Eastern Region ho na obi hu Safari Valley Amuzu Herbal Clinic Semin Kancho with the Amuzu garlic bitters and the Diaba Ejaso Kope Amuzu garlic bitters in Bebubo Eboa minimize high sugar levels it reduce high blood pressure the sign boa support the pancreas sound so and a sign yema will be a 1 year stroke one numbia eboa a control urine flow and a sign a reduce a cholesterol in the pedianum wunya a year a do be a baby this is Amuzu Herbal Clinic and I say and obenya Amuzu garlic bitters papa no yeah Food and Drugs Authority this stamp ponesi su panya no when obenya bi ne de ne Amuzu garlic bitters pebina bombo pharmacy shop herbal shop mu amu kumase eye Kolinak herbal Alstown asoye umum ene eye Apidank herbal areas ni nyina Dani herbal Missy herbal Ukashi Draglin Nanabuachi herbal Halos herbal Tenatet herbal wonyina obenya bi for 0247 776743 0247 776743 ofra yebejosum well and ko no abotimo to no fa kakranka
Mugabe, I think one of the issues is that somehow come from the beginning. Yeah, amount for distorted this assembled budget now the Abraham Ghana for no will continue to pursue the tax allocations and the ideas.
We are talking about tax. A friend said, betting tax, issues now about women.
Yes,
very less. Honorable video be about what's here okay for viewers and listeners now the exact area share in area former deputy finance minister honorable Abena was say sorry on betting tax no yeti sama wadi atuja
ye dikan betting ye jiji senke de tax kakra etu so ebema emrante ne mabaawa no omatwe asan 11 no Metna ha nkase ma nte se Ghana for ka ho asem meti se Ghana for ka ho asem na samre no so na ye hia sa sika no e de djuma Ghana for ka ho asem ye hye ne ye kono na 1.5% ye tie ye ene ye te so ne de ba 1% o hwe COVID-19 levy Ghana for e ka ho asem banyo so ye ka say after a certain point ye beji free economy ena betting tax ni de nia de na ye kan say ene hu imrante ni meba wa bebre omo nye adwuma nanso omo fa betting yi gidi omuska kakra wo mo no mo de ko di sa adwuma we eni nti enyese ye pe sikane nko nanso we want to correct because sometimes abai you see taxes no e de esesa abrabo bi to so me no hwe so a ye de eto kakra eto esichire insadoko yes insadoko sugary drinks products drinks contain a certain amount of sugar yeah the tax to so uko nyamnya bebre a yeah the correct sa yaria aba bebre free esichire mu ntenye bedie bia na eto no aban di scape nanso to the bia or the correct certain wrongs.
Yeah, former deputy finance minister honorable Abena was say sorry I say otumi edinche muwe ede amay live on TV SYZ and also on power 97.9 FM. Yebeko for quick commercial break. Yeba back here. Yeba bebo video eye Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in some okafa eye betting tax on any Ghana Revenue Authority sika almost generate a free betting tax mono. We have the funds here. We just ask you na MB before no omutia no omo so se Mugabe kura obeye day ye de ye say ha ne wotu mira no ye day na wa kire sie nti no ye be ma Ghana for hu ne oho nyina nti yanko for quick commercial break ye ba ye de aka nyina be sai ato amaso.
The serene environment fits into the goal of the school, which is simply to provide excellent educational foundation for your world's development before they commence primary education. At first glance, clearly you will see why the school is called Hebron Hills International School, as the building stands tall overlooking town. With a Montessori style, we have experienced and dedicated staff and trained teachers. Our small sizes classrooms are meant to enhance teacher-focused approach where children get one-on-one attention from the teacher. Hello there! We are open at 7:30 a.m. and school closes at 2:30 p.m. After school care is from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. while early drop-off can be arranged at 6 a.m. Hebron Hills International School is located at Midye off Densawan Road. Locate us with GP postcode GW0688 Ga West and GPS code 06884870. You can contact the school and make further inquiries on 050-876-2375 or call the office directly on 0302-918768. Email us at hebronhills.school@gmail.com. Hebron Hills International School. Excel and shine.
Missy Menanano, a group basa every brabro Tibedo Himlenu.
As for me, I take very good care of my grandkids. Ye dear grow, na yes, sir. A do maybe crana, me bano timide, or maybe gumi so weekend. Hey, mumle, remember, I don't think I'm a catcher say, Yano Medi garlic capsules. Posun, a basis so come on. As I stand here, my doctor said my whole system has improved very well. Medi garlic capsules. Yes, Medi garlic capsules. Oh,
Mugabe Maase garlic capsules. What Mamoja dini paduanimu efurusani ye na esiesie oba ne barima mahona wodin. Ubinya edoi bi ato omanyimu pharmacy store frey 050-349-4885. Edoi enye mmofra enye ndi fie dumienu. Apemfo ene emma emanofo. Mugabe Maase wunni how FDA ajije din kra tuwe ato.
Upon your arrival, you are introduced to your butler, who plans your itinerary. So many activities, all in the same premises. Visit the gym or the stables, they have it all. At my break, I'm able to practice my putting. They used only electric vehicles here. This creates a serene environment. I'm told it's over 1,000 acres. My cabin here sits on 2 acres with a large terrace space overlooking my private swimming pool. Now this is royalty. They have their own farms, thousands of fruit trees. I can also have my lunch here at the waterfall. Quite a beautiful place you have yourself.
Should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally. Natural mineral water. Simply natural. For bulk purchase, call 0596-273-546 or 0596-273-547. This advert is FDA approved.
welcome back from the commercial break live on TV as well as on Power 97.9 FM. Honorable Timothy Atabuade da so asanso na lawyer Owi Brown so ewa Yenkotie Ensema, former Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia eka on the betting tax.
The new policies that I am proposing to implement in 2025 will give us the fiscal space to eliminate some taxes, such as the proposed VAT on electricity, if they are still on the books, the emissions tax, and the betting tax, without compromising our fiscal deficit. We have put in place the necessary infrastructure for Ghana to go cashless. Recently, the Bank of Ghana has completed a pilot of a digital version of the Ghana cedi in Seshiri. This is known as the Central Bank Digital Currency, or the e-cedi. The e-cedi is designed to work online and offline and will be launched by the Bank of Ghana in due course. In my humble opinion, the e-cedi with appropriate privacy protections will be the ultimate weapon in our fight against corruption, because it will provide transparency, reduce the risk of fraud, robbery, tax avoidance, and money laundering, since it will be easy to track the movement of money and identify suspicious activity.
I will abolish the tax, yield and the emission tax. So the word is I will abolish.
It just a one.
Very well.
This is from the horse's own mouth.
So also young son called Ghana Revenue Authority.
Ghana Revenue Authority.
Ghana GRA. Omoma target to be say and then I know more everywhere. But Ghana GRA generates 15 million Ghana cedis from betting tax. Target 60 million by the end of the football.
I check it date, you know.
October 6, 2023.
Yes. Very well. I mean, not free, you know.
Let's start action.
Target was 60 million. 15 years. And today, you know, the former finance minister is telling Ghanaians, say, maybe
there was no betting tax.
I am surprised because and then a good day for them.
We need to expose them.
They've been confused since the budget was read. We show on the floor of Parliament, their leader, the macro minority leader, Afenyo Markin, was more confused than organized. Afenyo Markin confusion started. Say all Kanumpunu will jaya about the budget, no account about the number of people who have been populated. She said the member of Parliament about and a bag been trained, speaker bag been trained. Najin boss and your population
standing orders.
And a baby train Najin boss and your population. I'll say for your mark walk and walk room. I say I was in your population. Okay, I say comment on the budget presentation. I know your baby can't go into your comment. So the confusion started with Afenyo Markin. It started in an area called a friend saying Honorable Dr. Abid Antaso. And he only came to confirm the fact that there was betting tax. If there was no betting tax, why was there betting act to create a tax? And the whiskey of the NPP. He was the flag bearer. I want to know a flag bearer.
I will.
And also say I will abolish. A chance I didn't you don't abolish it. If it doesn't exist, you don't abolish it. It is when the sickness that you have to find a solution to it. So we have exposed them badly. We have exposed them badly. GRN so every revenue in this country tax the almost say they set their target for 60 million Ghana cedis at the end of the football season.
This one was in
2023. Now give 15 million Ghana cedis. And also in a kind that's city newsroom. Intino, we should most of the journalists. Intino for me, I think that it is a day that it has knocked them off completely. I sure more because almost to one share budget Dr. Tufos and the buyer now. What it means is that they could have done this thing after they've taken 1.1 trillion revenue. 1.1 trillion revenue GNO. Our man find your share. No matter for taxes. For the abano and no teacher. One said, say economy. How are people going to do this? Assure me. In the assure me now for the team or say we have not done it. We have not done it. The documents speaks louder than words.
Very well.
For me, we should not take what. In fact, one of the issues that we must look at is that say they want to divert the attention of our listeners to a non-issue. We have solved the issue today. So from subsequent, we are going to be telling the people what the budget now. A woman, a chairman for GAD. On person divert attention from this good budget. Budget are about resolve problem to create employment. That's why I can say budget we are abandoning. It's for our farmers. It's for fishermen. It's for Guta people. And it is for Abuso cars papers dealers. It's for our mothers. Why? More Kolibu. All the markets. It's for everybody. Our school girls is for them. One point now I expect so it's for you.
Understand?
You understand? So for me, I think that one person would divert one, two, we must also check. Ambassador. So
appointment for Ghana, Mamia. You can make me an ambassador.
Ambassador. Listen.
Why would I know?
I trust you.
Burkina.
We can meet to
Burkina
and you bring us out.
But we go Canada so to be the ambassador.
And I'll send most of the youth to Burkina to do farming in the dry season. So it will be good. Or you forget jobs to do in Burkina and so on. So it will be we'll establish because it's just a walk through distance. If I can get 100 of my youth to come and do gardening there and come, they can even sleep and come. Because we cross borders near farms across the world. Don't you Ghana?
Now that
you'll be a good ambassador.
Certainly, I'll be a good ambassador.
Ibrahim to
for me, it's a good budget.
Right.
We are not going to be distorted to talk about as in Sempa Abba budget. One, it is to divert attention. Two, it has also opened say forensic audit into it. China VRO, and I'm not to force. Do you wait? By the process, even this now by 9 o'clock, they will bring the issue that will discuss them. And it's going to be exposed badly.
I'm coming to budget allocation. There, budget.
Okay.
19 points. Quick. 13.85 billion. Allocated for big push program. Number 2, 499.8 million allocation for non-academic fees policy of first year students in public tertiary institutions.
Students are going to enjoy.
First year. Number 3, 292.4 million allocation for distribution of free sanitary pads for female students in primary and secondary school. You will not understand. Number 4, 242 million allocation to support victims of the Akosombo Dam spillage. Very important. 200 million allocation to support victims of the tidal waves in the K2 South constituency. 3.5 billion Ghana cedis allocation for free secondary education program. They cannot comprehend. 564.6 million allocation for comprehensive provision of free secular based textbooks. They don't understand. 1.788 billion allocation for school feeding program. They are surprised. 145.5 million allocation for capitation grant. They are dazed.
Capitation grant.
203 million allocation for the payment of teacher training allowances. They are confused. 480 million allocation for the payment of nursing training allowances. They cannot comprehend. 9.93 billion allocation for the National Health Insurance Scheme. MPP is bazaar.
Service provider.
2.81 billion allocation for the Ghana Road Fund. Muga, they cannot understand where the money is coming from. 7.51 billion allocation for the District Assembly Common Fund. MPP is scattered. Muga, 1.5 billion allocation for agriculture for economic transformation agenda. Program. Muga, 51.3 allocation for seed fund for the establishment of Women's Development Bank. Women, even the Emmanuel of Nibaje. 300 million Ghana cedis allocation for national apprenticeship program. The youth will have a job to do. 100 million allocation for the Ejumara program. MPP, they are shocked because they could have done it, but they never did. And last but not the least, 100 million allocation for the national codes program. Muga, this is an innovation. What a budget! Life budget. JM.
Hope budget.
Obiabedidi budget. Nkukongiti budget. Road fund budget. The young ladies budget. School student leadership budget. Textbook budget. Sankofa budget. Resetting agenda budget.
What a budget.
Muga, on this note, all I want to say is MPP gurus. Say NDC ba na ya de niema ba. Ya the programs ba. Na ebu mo adwene munti aseswa. Munye din. Mamun kasanye sa. You always expose yourself. With chairman, my wife, omo amoshe, with students, and a shaman for me. Very well.
Madam was say any big Joe who free a London Aba Bidru Ghana Kumase and Chakes and come on here Bushina Moshe Ewo Kumase. So and a year Mr. Big Edu was enough a year regional chairman of the NDC. Chakes and come a year Munina Mamo here Jubilee House from President, Chief of Staff, Vice President, Minister of State in charge of government communication, Honorable Felix Kwachu. My good brother Dr. Omaneboama and Minister Sawudu Nina and Echobibia Western Housing Minister Minia Eyekenaje Mubo Jumeyi Papa must start very well. Honorable Rashid Pepo name Penufua Moso Muwo Libaho Munkoso Emo Ejuma Honorable Mutala Honorable Suhini Honorable Kwame Abuja Rose Minister Mumo Ejuma na yakwano so and ho kama emfa emaye yenyina emfa en support Emma His Excellency John Dramani Mahama na ontumi and deliver yentanechi na enyama enku it is not time say ye ba be blame game bia me de bia me ka say me ni hwe yese me defend His Excellency John Dramani aye Mahama and ya na His Excellency wakai Honorable Timotimo Honorable Kodwe Duasare Honorable Washiama ne aye lawyer Owi Bramo ene eye Honorable Sorogomu munkai womo omu senior communicators and lawyer Namwale because Mugabe didn't mention my name so lawyer Namwale and Honorable Linda Obinwa Oklo Greater Accra Regional Minister and Dr. Amwako Hene Asante Regional Minister Munkoso Moju Alaji Sinani Salaam Alaikum and Honorable Dr. Samuel Sapon Benifo Mutien ye enyina ya chacha munyina Alaji Masawudu Salaam Alaikum ye Benifo Mutie Mayanga oni group ni nyina mechacha obibi obade ne dominate nkwemo achina yukwada yebeshia the 3 p.m. and you know no saka sebo ene to aso mima munyina mo anything